Welcome. We are Table Goth, a group of tabletop gaming enthusiasts and gothic aficionados. And tonight we're here to play session 8 of our Fall of London Chronicle. Things might look a little bit different, and that's okay. It's because we figured out tech wizardry, and we have a guest star we will get to in a second. As always, just because we have a guest star, we probably still might get into some uncomfortable situations. So take care of yourself if you are exposed to any content that makes you not so comfortable. As Amanda's probably going to do when you have Cauldron of Blood now, so we'll see. Anyway. These are powerful vampires doing terrible things. Speaking of, let's go around the table. So who we're playing.
I am Miss Petty Dreadful. I am playing Alice Mockingdale, and she's a Tremere.
I am Metal Chocobos. I'm playing Dr. Henry Banerjee, and I'm Hakata.
I'm Mandy Morose. I'm playing Lady Catherine Montague, and she is a Vintry.
I'm Bexybro, playing Tommy Smith.
Tommy.
Nosferatu.
I'm Bully. I'm playing London and everyone else. That's all I have to say.
Cool.
And we have our guest star, Astera, from By Night Studios.
Yay.
A LARP extraordinaire who's here to play some humble tabletop with us. So go ahead, tell the people whatever you want to tell them. You have 1 hour.
Oh, an hour?
Yes.
All right. Well, I'm Astara. I'm a community spokesperson for By Night Studios. I've been a big, Vampire Masquerade fan for quite a long time, though most of my experience is in the LARP setting, so this is going to be completely new for me. You can also catch me playing Madame Guy in the upcoming Blood and Betrayal event hosted by Night Studios. It's going to be April 24th and 25th in Orlando, Florida. And if you're watching this, you can get a special discount code MET25 off of your tickets. So you get I think it's like 10%.
Sweet. Awesome.
Where do they go to buy tickets?
You can go to. Oh, now you're actually making it work. You know what?
We can post a
There'll
link
be
in the
posted
comments.
somewhere.
Yeah,
Yeah,
we'll have a link in our description.
Sorry about my
And if you don't know how to Google,
I'm trying to help. Alright.
Yeah, By Night Studios does awesome things. And you guys are transitioning to your 5th edition, aren't you?
Eventually, yes. The
This
Blood
is
and
like-
Betrayal event is kind of like the slow precursor to kind of introduce some of the elements in 5th edition to the LARP setting. And eventually we should get fully there. But not right now.
Yeah, so this will be a nice, fully there tabletop experience for you. But we just did our first LARP not that long ago, and we were all amazing at it. So, and that was, so everyone's a professional here, all across the World of Darkness boards. So, without any further ado, we're going to jump right in this as our coterie's up to some stuff. Big things are happening. So, we're Table Goth plus By Night Studios friends, and this is Fall of London. Alright. Last time, the coterie planned on how to get to the British Museum and retrieve Mithras' cap from the elder Bruja and former pater of the Mithraic cult, Gwenllian Arwen. Instead of going with Tommy's plan just to walk in, they dillied and they dallied, and by that they set up a series of favors to gain entry to the museum while avoiding the heavy antigen presence. While Tommy, Catherine, and Alice set up a meeting with Gwenllian's grandchild, Chun, Henry visited a graveyard and bound a specter to his service. Chun sent word to Gwenllian to expect the coterie and meet on friendly terms in exchange for the coterie making an example out of one of the antigen agents at the museum. Then they went to the Keeper of Elysium, Regina Blake, to find a way inside, and she agreed that if they freed her ghoul Trenton from jail, Trenton could get them inside. So Lady Catherine, also in the time, Lady Catherine revealed her issues with Mr. Algernon Magpie, to Regina in front of the rest of the group. But we didn't have time to get to that, because then Kateri had to charm her way into a police station and get out trapped, which she did. They were led through the underground, where they struck a deal with the Nosferatu to feed them some of their blood in exchange for information on a route to the museum that avoided some of the antigen agents. Once inside, they had to knock out a worker and a guard, and Catherine and Henry went to find an agent to kill, while Alice became a ghost and joined obfuscated Tommy to find the cap. They did find the cap. The other two found an antigen target, but they all also found Gwenllian and entered another shared memorial. They saw the building of the Mithraea, the cap being passed from Varys to Gwenllian, and the power and mercy of Mithras. Gwenllian explained the blooding ritual that they'd all been a part of, and why their memories were fragmented. It seems their souls were lost in the process, but their bodies and minds were filled with the blood and memories of Mithras' most faithful servants. She agreed to give them the cap if they got her out of the museum and off the Camarilla's red list. Alice snuck out Gwenllian, Henry got a specter to possess their antigen target, and Tommy mutilated said target in the boiler room. Coterie escaped in the underground, but before parting, Gwenllian seemed to weigh her options about stopping the Heralds right there and then, and preventing Mithras' return. But, through some convincing, they got her to join them instead, to bring stability to London, using Mithras. So now, the Coterie has all 5 of the items Pater Thomas asked them to get, and they have a new powerful ally in the Elder Bruja. And all that's left to do is let Pater Thomas know and bring back the ancient kindred and self-proclaimed god, Mithras. So,
We'll do that.
Yeah, you guys do that and you win.
Game over.
Exiting the underground, you have a little bit of time left in the night. Not a lot. Actually, yeah, probably working your way underground, having to do that same sort of pattern that Trenton showed you, so the Nosferatu don't mess with you. You wouldn't have much night left. So where are you guys going to be hunkering in for the day?
I know a great place with lots of dead corpses just stacked all over the place.
Alright, Tommy, where's this place?
No, we're probably closer. Are we closer to? I mean, I imagine
By the British
by
Museum.
the British Museum, we're probably closer to her.
You have time to get to any of those spots.
Alright, I'll go to
Let's go to the nicest spot.
I'll go to the nice place, yeah.
Yes, come on, Marcus.
my lab is fine.
I mean, you can
You
go
can go
there.
to the lab.
You guys want me to go with you?
I just want
you
to
go to your
see
lab.
Winston.
You go to your cult. You go to the Moon Palace. You can all.
Moon Palaces.
Moon
Bit
Palace
hot.
is done, so.
So where you all stay?
I'm gonna go to Marcus.
I
Okay.
haven't been staying with the Colts, so I would go.
You don't like them anymore? Okay.
No, I do. I just haven't been sleeping there.
Yeah, it shows you don't like them. Okay. Henry?
I like Winston, so I'm going to go to the place.
You go to your lab. Everyone else is going to the Beaumont fancy hotel that Lady Catherine
We
set
have
up.
time to eat on the way.
What's your hunger at?
4.
Oh,
Because I fed the Nosferatu a couple times.
yes, you did. I'll say on the way back in the hotel, you can find some late night someone at the bar.
I'm
Or
dressed up really nicely from the.
you only smell a little bit like sewage, so yeah.
Yep.
And yeah, I'll say you could slake 2 hunger on your way back. Anyone who needs to can do so.
Nice.
Somehow I didn't even get hungrier last episode.
It was easy.
It's just so much dilly dally. I don't get hungry when I dilly dally.
Did you come with us?
No.
Yeah. I'm with Winston.
Okay. The next evening, everyone do your rouse check as you wake up.
I'm hungry.
Hungry.
Perfect.
Bah.
Nothing great.
It's hungry.
Ba means hungry. Okay. Lady Catherine. As you wake up from your slumber, looking around your room, you can see that it seems like the others have already left. So you're alone in this nice luxury suite at the top. But sitting on one of the beds that they were staying on instead is looks like a very formal looking invitation and an exquisite purple dress, very Ventru, waiting for you on the bed. You glance at the invitation, and it says, you have 1 hour to get ready. Bring your appetite. And there's sort of 2 RSVP options. One saying, I accept this generous invitation. The other saying, I wish Lady Angelique Darkwood to experience final death. You can check one of those boxes if you'd like. Though you seem it's not actually necessary, you would assume. Oh no. How'd you like to proceed?
I guess I get ready.
Okay.
Do I actually have to send the cards in place?
No. So you wearing this dress?
Yeah.
Okay. Put on this dress. Fits you perfectly. Very good materials. Very expensive. Do your makeup, whatever you usually do to get ready. Anything else you want to do within this hour?
I'm gonna need to make a call to Queen Anne.
Okay. You look around for your phone. It is not there.
There's no hotel phone.
There's a hotel phone.
Probably don't remember the number though.
Would
That's
not.
my assumption. Did we get a card with the phone number on it? Do I have that card still, or is all my shit missing?
Can't seem to find it anywhere.
Can I look out the window to see if this seems weird.
Yeah, you look out the window. You see the city of London.
Regular?
Yeah, early evening. Streets are crowded.
I'm going to, and no one else is around.
No, you look through this entire, like you said, you have like a floor essentially. You have like the top suite of this hotel. You go through all the rooms. There's no trace of anyone.
I leave a note in the room that Alice would have been using.
Okay.
It's just gonna say, dealing with monsters tonight. Be back later.
Okay. Leave the note. Anything else?
No.
Okay.
You keep saying that like I'm supposed to remember something.
I'm
that
just
I should
making
be doing,
sure that you're,
it's making me nervous.
you're covered. So you step outside the hotel room, where it's pretty much just a hallway and the one elevator leads up to the suite. There's a woman in a chair in a black dress who's looking at her own phone and looks up at you. You're ready then. She puts her phone away and stands up.
Yes, and you are.
Oh, right. You said your memory isn't all quite there. Meredith. She threw her hand. Okay, much to do. I shall get on the elevator with you. You start heading down.
Are you my nanny for the evening?
Think of me as your VIP escort. Guest of honor, after all.
It's not usually a surprise when that happens. I'm just kind of concerned about what I'm the guest of honor of.
Did you not read the invitation?
I do.
A dinner party.
Seems rather normal.
Well, knowing my brother, nothing's quite normal. Should be interesting, at the very least.
Yes, interesting is exactly the word I would use to describe your brother. Alright, where is this thing?
We'll take you there, obviously. And eventually you reach the bottom. You head out, and she's on her phone again. This nice black car pulls up. She opens the door for you. You get in the back seat with her. you can see a very large man. Sort of a very ill-fitting, like, bulky suit. It's odd on him you can tell the suit's nice, the material's nice, fits really weird. He's wearing like a driver's cap, really thick neck, and you can see sort of this rough gray, like, rash along the back of his neck. And he just adjusts the mirror, looks at you guys. You know where to go, Eddie. He just grunts, and you begin to drive outside of the city. Meredith is still on her phone, and she'll put it away after a few moments. All right, he knows we're on our way. So you really don't remember anything then?
Oh, I remember some details, but not always the biggest picture. However, the few details I have been able to recall have enlightened me quite a bit. Why? Is there some information you'd like to share?
It's just curious. Me and you used to be friends, you know. Quite good ones, actually. I was the one who convinced you to accept the engagement from my brother, so I can at least have one palpable in-law. But, of course, you met Angelique and all that changed. And then you impressed the venture enough to where you were allowed to be embraced. While my dear brother had to put his time in as a ghoul for decades after. But he did find an opportunity, as I'm sure you know, to break into the mold and make a powerful friend in the process. You know, a lot of things change after you disappeared, and he made sure to benefit from the drastic shifting of power those times.
Well, leeches always do seem to find a blood source, don't they?
He was quite furious that you weren't around to see his ascension. He does blame you for how he is now. And you know, I believed him for a time, but part of me suspects he's always been quite capable of terrible things.
Yes, dear, as I said, I don't remember a lot, but the things I do remember are quite vivid.
As you're driving outside of the city, Tommy, Alice, you've roused, you've awoken, and you can immediately tell you're underwater. There's chains tied to some sort of heavy weights that have made sure you stay at the bottom of whatever body of water you're in. It's pretty filthy.
Her sound.
What?
Is her sound? Should we?
Oh, she's good.
I think she's on
I'm
you.
sorry.
She's waving to someone else. She's got stuff to do. She's good.
Sorry.
You're gonna lose XP.
Sorry, I can't just tune her out, man.
Yeah, and see, this is why I tune her out. It's so much smoother. But yes, you're in very murky, dark, cold winter waters. What would you like to do?
Roll. Test it.
Yeah, you're chained pretty good. Your hands and feet are chained to each other, and there's some sort of like heavy stone, just like a solid rock that you seem to have been tied to. Huge, something to be tough even for you to lift, but someone got you attached to it. You look around. You can't actually see Alice.
Is there like a current? Do I feel motion in the water?
Yes.
How is it attached to the stone?
Looking down, it seems like it's like there was sort of a metal part that was welded into the stone, and it's just sort of hooked on that.
Alright. Yeah, I'll try to get a hold of where it meets the stone and tug very hard.
Okay. You're probably gonna have to rouse to get your potence going for this.
Yep.
Good. Then give me a strength athletics.
Jesus.
We
Nice.
guessed.
Huh.
You know, this is fun. Let's go ahead and use the willpowers. Just for the walls.
Yeah, first roll is a great one to use.
That's the only way to play this, right? That's 8.
Fuck.
10.
And it's messy.
And 10 mess.
That's a messy 10.
Throws the chains out of the
my
water.
nick.
I threw the rock on top of her.
Messy 10.
Yeah, she's a 10% of
She a
It's a messy 10.
Okay. Yeah, you reach down and you get where it's connected and you break that part. The rest of it sort of, so you're no longer attached to the rock. They're still chained together now.
Alright. Try to break that off as well.
Sure, do another one. Anything you want to do during this time? You're in the same predicament.
Yeah, I guess I would kind of like put myself down to where it is and inspect how it's attached to the stone, or see if like the stone is too big for me to even like try to move.
Yeah.
Well, okay.
7.
7. All right, you start breaking the hand parts, reaching out, breaking the ankle parts, and eventually you have some loose chains on you, but you're no longer constrained by them.
What?
Are there other rocks on like the floor of whatever body of water this is?
Mm-mm.
No.
Pretty soft mud. It's sunk in pretty well.
I'm gonna try to probably just swim up. I wouldn't assume anybody's near me if I can't see
Probably
anybody.
not, yeah. Okay, you swim up to the surface.
Do I hear like the reverb of like chains or anything? Or I don't hear anything at all.
Give me a wits awareness.
No. 2?
You do not hear anything. So it's just constant water rushing.
Okay. Then I'm going to try to take the whatever like metal pieces around my arm and see if I can try to use it as a tool to slam it against a stone.
Sure. Your
yeah,
strength
break it.
athletics.
Yeah.
While she's doing that, you surface, look around, and wherever you are, you're pretty far out.
It's poison. They're 2 different.
Yeah, there's not really a light source out here. You can't see in the dark, can you?
I don't think so.
So yeah, you're pitch black in an ocean somewhere. Hey, you can tell it's salty. Yeah.
Ocean breeze.
You start banging. These chains are thick. It's not breaking.
Okay, can I use Sense the Beast maybe to see if there's anyone nearby? I don't know if I can.
Yeah.
Is that supposed to be small? Can it be other things? Sense wise.
I'll allow it. Give me do a wits awareness. You can add, that's animalism, isn't it? Add your animalism rating to it. So it takes you a bit. You definitely don't sense anything here, but swimming around a little bit or getting tossed in sort of the waves. You do notice there's a boat you can hear every so often. You'll sort of see a little bit of a light of some large boats that seem to be passing. But eventually you sense Alice. You dive down. I'll say, given enough time, you are able to break her chains as well, freeing the both of you, getting you reach to the surface.
Can we see shore?
Mm-hmm.
I will. I have a bloodstone on Katie.
You do.
I sense the direction of the bloodstone.
You do. So she could point you in the direction ahead.
Right, I hear a boat over there, though.
You want to commandeer a boat?
It's a lot faster than swimming.
I wasn't saying it was a bad idea.
Right.
You guys are going to try to
Isn't this like a Phil Collins song?
clamber up a boat and...
Right, how about I sneak up on it? We'll see what we can do.
That's good.
Okay. Well, this is happening. Lady Catherine.
To tell me.
Eventually, you're brought out of the city, and you stop at a large gate that reads Magpie Manor. Though, as you
Also,
get to the end of this long driveway, it's more like a small castle that awaits you. Lots of statues lined up along this driveway that watch you as you get closer and closer. The building itself is sort of this tight cluster of these dramatic towers. It's impractical, but imposing. And you're quickly escorted inside, past this dimly lit foyer full of these Baroque paintings and a looming chandelier. And then as you're brought into the next room, where you can hear lots of people speaking on the other side, a man opens the door and announces Lady Catherine Montague. As you're brought into a crowded ballroom, full of all sorts of finely dressed guests. And they all instantly stop mid-conversation, mid-sip of champagne, mid-lingering affectionate touch. They all just look at you. It's completely still. And then there's a small break in the crowd as you see Algernon Magpie emerging from his gathered guests. He bows deeply to you, and he looks quite handsome, dripping in velvet and this venomous smugness. He turns to you, turns to the guests. Our guests of honor. Oh, how we've waited for this moment. He glides towards you and he lifts your hand to kiss it, if you allow it.
I do.
Okay. As he does so, there's a polite applause and then some murmuring, and then the party commences. As he takes you by the hand and he guides you through the crowd and out of the ballroom, out of the back, and you find yourself in this pleasant winter garden, which, as you're led further, turns into a hedge maze full of towering statues that are rising like stalagmites amongst these thick hedges, the sort of bursts of these blood-red poinsettias. As you're making your way through this maze, you eventually find yourself in front of an altar. On that altar lies Lady Angelique Darkwood. In the flesh, instead of these fragmented memories, for the first time in a long time. And she's lying still, that decorative, ivy-handled stake still resting at her heart. And with this, Algernon just pauses. Quite a sight, even in the stillness. You see, I wanted to reunite you with your sire, your lover. Not just physically, but I wish to make sure your souls are forever intertwined. I don't want you to lose her again, Catherine. It's been so long. I've decided this will be my gift to you. More of a choice than a gift, really. Though both options I give you are deliciously dramatic. But I think you'll find each appetizing in their own way. Or at least something even you can remember in the nights to come. You may diablerize her, mixing your blood so you truly are two halves of the same soul. And then you're free to go. You never have to see me again. It's you and Angelique. Or, we're ever so close to this bond, and you can complete this bond. Then you'll both carry on. I will remove the stake from your sire, though she's also bound to me, so you will both go on as you are now, but your affections will lie with the one you thought you were so much beneath you not that long ago. But you'll be together, and at my side. Which doesn't sound so bad, does it? I leave it to you. You're all the guests of honor, after all. Either way, as my invitation said, I hope you have brought your appetite. And, just formality, if you were thinking of trying something, I've been busy in these decades waiting for you. I've made friends. I've acquired toys. So don't try anything. Okay? As he says this, there's a shift. A few of these statues move to sort of look at you. One steps off the pedestal. I believe you've met Eddie already, and you see that was the driver. And you see this weird gray rash that's almost like patches of stone on just this hulking winged gargoyle. As you were.
Darling, it's bad form to threaten your guest so early in the evening. And I have no intentions of trying to harm you. It seems your blood is potent. And I know that's something you've been working on for ages. So congratulations. And the party is lovely. Did you build this castle recently?
No, it was another toy I acquired. As I said, I've been busy.
Boys and their toys. Well, you've given me two very, what did Magnus use the word, interesting options. Could we enjoy the evening a little bit more before I have to decide?
I have to say, I'm quite enjoying this already. I can't imagine it getting better than this.
Well, that's why you're supposed to wait till the end before you present gifts. But since you're a little premature, I will go ahead and decide. The only thing that I wish...
This is happening. Give me a wits awareness. Was all hunger?
One success.
One. So you're getting ready to give him your answer. Just barely perceptible at the corner of your eye. You swore you saw movement from Lady Angelique. And Lady Angelique, you know that Algernon has been very careful not to let mortals near you. But when moving you to a new location for this garish display, you're finally able to bend the mind of one of his servants. You made sure the stake was removed, but you're not yet in a position to make your escape. And you still, for some reason, trust Algernon, and you're curious to see what he had planned. So you place the stake back in your chest again, but this time careful to just miss the heart. So you hold no ill will towards Algernon necessarily. You know love makes kindred and kind alike do desperate things. And part of you has already forgiven him, but you don't plan on lying in torpor for another night longer. And speaking of love, this evening is when you finally heard the voice that for decades only existed in your dreams. Your precious child, Catherine. But you're pretty sure you weren't supposed to hear that last part, where he offered a diablerie or a bloodbound. Though your old bloodbound maybe has conflicted feelings with this. A lot of things are going through your head, but you couldn't help but look over to make sure the voice matched who you thought it was, and you see it's her in the flesh. You've been in torpor for over 40 years. You see Algernon there. You spot a couple gargoyles. But he does not seem to have noticed that you are not staked as he thinks you are. Though you catch Catherine's eye for just a second. Is there anything either of you would like to do?
If I can play off that I see movement from the slab, if I can, flick my eyes over to, notice it and then, gesture around while I'm talking and being dramatic.
You want to distract him away from her?
Yeah.
Yeah, give me a manipulation subterfuge.
Three successes.
Okay. Yeah. So you look around, having this pregnant pause in your response. He's definitely paying attention to you. He wants to see the look on your face when you have to give him one of your answers. He doesn't seem to have noticed her. Lady Angelique, is there anything you want to do?
I think I'm just going to play 12-4 just for a little bit longer, because the gargoyles make me incredibly nervous.
Yes, they should. So you go back to your position of feigned torpor, knowing Catherine saw you, but she seems to be doing her best to distract from the fact that you're awake. And it seems to be working. So Lady Catherine.
Darling, all I really want is you to be as enraptured with me as you would wish me to be with you. And with that, I would like to use Majesty.
Okay. I believe we got a roll here.
Yep. It is Charisma, Presence versus Composure and Resolve.
This dude doesn't seem like he's very composed.
What does Majesty do?
Buddy.
What?
And should I be worried?
It makes you think of me as a god or as like a demon. I guess essentially like you're enraptured or terrified. Maybe. So
he's
charisma
a bunch of
and
God.
presence.
You knew that.
Yeah, yours is close resolve.
It's 2 rouse checks to use.
Mhm.
Which I might be screwed, but I didn't get to eat beforehand, so.
Yeah, you haven't raised your blood points yet, so I have to re-roll these.
Ready?
Oh no.
I failed both of them.
Oh, should we be laughing right now?
No, I'm
She
trying not
doesn't do
to
it.
cry.
Oh, okay.
Is that Hunger 5?
Yeah.
Okay.
Oh no.
Let's see if Majesty works.
If you could Majesty and then just
Yeah, give me a roll.
you hate to see it, but you love to watch
That's pretty
it
good,
go.
though.
That's Majesty.
Oh yeah. That's not bad at all.
4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 8 with a messy.
Kill the queen.
You'll love to see it.
Hey, that's it. What's a frenzy? So I think whenever they said God or demon, we know which one. We figured out which one she's going
Spirit
for.
Majesty is to be in the presence of the divine or the infernal. The latter seems to take hold here as your fangs extend as this just
You might be into it, I don't know.
just incredibly disturbing, evil, dark, just being now stands in his garden. And you see his eyes go wide. And even though you physically stay the same, he's looking up as if you're almost like growing in front of him as he's starting to back away.
Are you ready to fight some gargoyles? Sorry.
She's got a stake in her. No.
She can just really know.
One of the statue's wings unfurls. And it takes off into the air and out of the garden. The other one, just is the Eddie, the one that's already off, starts to lumber behind you as you're in a hunger frenzy now. And you're probably Algeron, I'm going to say, is the one that your beast wants to consume. So you're going to go for him. So, give me you're in bestial mode here, so it's just going to be strength brawl, which I know you're great at.
We love it.
Can she rouse the blood even if she's at 500? Nice.
Ew. With my one die.
Okay. He is running from you. You're running after him. Gargoyle is running behind you. Lady Angelique, this is what... You were playing it cool, and then things got very uncool.
You were playing it cool.
So you saw Catherine the beast completely took over. and she is this feral creature out for blood now. Anyone's blood. But luckily, you're not the closest person. Anything you would like to do at this moment? You put in a real bad situation.
I know. Remember when I apologized
Is this how
before
you
we
treat our
started?
guests?
Yeah,
I
she's a
know.
guest, dude.
Like, I want to, like, a part of me wants to get up and do something, then a part of me is like, no, I shouldn't do
Play
that.
dead. Just play dead, but
Yeah. Either way, it seems like the two people you are either bound or feel for are both in a bad spot. Everyone's in a bad spot. So maybe it's better to go back to sleep.
really is.
Is there something you'd like to do, though?
Wait a second. I'm thinking I'm gonna get up. I'm gonna get up and I'm gonna try to, I want to try to calm her down somehow. Is there anything I have that I can use to try to
Blood.
get her?
You have some dominate things at your disposal, or you could just try actually breaking through to her using your actual connection.
Okay.
You have celerity, so you will certainly reach her before she reaches her prey. It depends. How do you want to do this? Do you want to try to dominate the beast, or you want to try to break through of the real her beneath the frenzy?
I'm gonna try to break through to the real her.
Okay.
Dramatic. I love
So,
Wholesome.
give me
Beautiful.
a social roll, which, having your thing there is 8 dice for you.
Okay. I did not have my dice. Do you mind?
Oh, I got you. Actually, I'm going to let you
Okay.
do it.
No!
Oh.
Yeah.
My
Yeah.
dice are cursed! We've established this!
So it's going to be 8 die.
That's
She's at
fine.
1 hunger.
We're just doing this. 1 hunger
Mm-hmm.
to humiliate me.
it.
4
That
successes.
song actually works for this.
Let's use a willpower. So I'm going to take a willpower. I'll reroll 3 of those. This is important.
There you go. 6 successes.
So, you, with celerity, are up from this altar, immediately in front of her. Stop. Luckily, she's angry, but she's not very strong, so it's not that hard to physically stop her as you sort of make eye contact for the first time in decades. What do you want to say to her?
I'm gonna look at her directly in the eyes. Catherine, please calm down. It's me, Angelique. Please, this isn't you. Please calm down, Catherine.
Something that breaks through, the plea, the desperation, the recognition of something well before this hunger frenzy, well before any of this nonsense, to a much better time that breaks through for a moment. I will say, if you want to spend a willpower, you can have yourself composed for a turn.
Yes.
How will you respond?
You have to get out of here now. I
I
can't.
can't live without you.
You need to leave. I'm not going to let him get away with this anymore.
No, Catherine, please, just come with me. Everything will be all right. Just let's go together, please.
Your bond to him will not be broken.
In time it will, but if we just leave together.
As you're having this discussion, the Scargirl has paused and has looked at each of you curiously for a moment, and then has decided, because you're not supposed to be up, and she's not supposed to be attacking anyone, but he's decided to go ahead and reach for her. You can see behind Lady Catherine, the Scargoyle's hands reach up, but he's going for her.
Alright, can I move her out of the way?
You can't.
How
You're
easily?
pretty quick.
Celerity.
Give me let's do a post physical. I'll roll for her, and you give me a because you're still in a hunger frenzy
Mm-hmm.
and you're fighting. So if you want to use another willpower, you can keep yourself right now. It's up to you. Or if you,
Don't worry
or
about
the
that.
beast is gonna slip
She'll
back.
overpower you.
I'll use one more.
All right, use another willpower. Give me a strength brawl.
For me?
Because she's trying to.
Well, it depends.
I'm not resist. I wouldn't be resistant.
Yeah, I guess you wouldn't really be
Could
aware
be
of this.
surprised.
So yeah, she moves out of the way. Roll me 5 die. Using 1 hunger.
3 successes.
Three. Okay, so all of a sudden you're tossed to the side as this gargoyle's clawed stone hands come forward and just grab Lady Angelique instead. And as instead of just grabbing her, it's like going the flesh isn't really stopping it. The claws are just instantly sinking into her, and you see her her shoulder and neck just get badly punctured as she's going to take 3 superficial from that. So you're thrown out of the way, and you look over, and this gargoyle just has her now, and looks towards you for a second, but sees he already has her, and seems to is just going to go for the target he has. What would you two like to do?
I would like to try to dominate it to get it to stop attacking me.
Sure. You can mesmerize this thing too.
Okay, I'll mesmerize.
Could I try to repel it? Like daunt it? Or repel?
So you'll activate Daunt.
Mm-hmm.
And then you will do that. So give me she's good at this. Roll 8 die for me. 1 hunger.
Oh no.
Can we use it, Will?
She's got some more willpower you can use.
Sorry.
I told him my dice, like, it's a running joke, my dice are cursed.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's 3.
3.
Out of
So you try to compel this thing, dominate it, and there's not a lot going on in there. It seems to be by design. This thing's sort of hard to dominate because it's built that way. It doesn't go through. You've daunted it, which makes it even less wanting to attack you. So he's gonna keep going for
No! I just
Lady
wanted to fly
Angelique
away
here.
like the other one.
It was fun having you on. Thanks for being here.
Thanks for playing.
You can roll
Did
her.
you want me to
Roll
for the
her
daunt?
her physical. No, daunt works on you, so it doesn't want to attack you.
Do I have daunt?
You have we just add
Yes.
a bonus to the other one?
You do have daunt.
There we go.
So next turn we can activate daunt
Ooh,
as Lady Catherine's making sure you get killed.
I'm sorry.
So roll me her physical, which is
Yo, can I give you one of the dogs?
5. Roll 5 dice,
2
100.
dogs, please.
Four successes. There we go.
So that is 2 more superficial. As he has her, and while the claws were in, the other claw comes down and just starts raking down her back. With this, you're now activating Daunt, looking at this thing. If you can't break through its mind, you're going to make sure it doesn't want to mess with you. Lady Catherine.
How am I doing frenzy wise?
If you want to spend another willpower, otherwise you got to try to eat something. And there's 2 great vampires right next to you.
Where is
You've let him go a couple rounds of running away now.
Huh.
And if you let the frenzy go, you're going for the closest, which is not him. One of your eyes just...
I saw that. I saw that.
Did you just... Majesty me?
Are you terrified?
So this is majesty.
Okay, then I have to use another willpower.
Wow, okay.
Fuck me.
What, to not eat?
So what are you going to do with your turn?
Well, I'm not very strong, so I'm going to flank it and jump on its back. I don't know. I can throw rocks at it or jump on it.
I'm feeling uncomfortable.
I'll
with
say
it.
you're gonna help try to keep it from getting its full attacks off on
kick
her.
it in the shins.
I'll-
I don't know.
I'll give it a negative for you crawling and just being a little vampire on this monster's back. Okay, so I'll give him a negative
What
attack for
else?
that. You have
I
Dawn
do
Dawn.
have a
yeah.
question.
Yes.
Please.
In V5, is Dread Gaze a thing still? Is that
Is that on your thing? Yeah, Dread Gaze. It's still sitting on her turn. Yeah, that's one of your presence powers I have for you.
Can you tell her all her powers, please?
She has it,
Okay.
but she has a lot of powers.
You can also use it.
She doesn't have it. You
Dread Gaze
can.
is great.
Do you want to Dread
okay.
Gaze instead of Dawn?
I wonder which one would be more effective.
Dread Gaze sounds awesome.
Can you explain Dread Gaze?
I'm gonna go for Dread Gaze.
Okay. Give me, that's 7 dice for, it's a rouse check for this. So you might get a little hungry, but you're not, it could be worse, could be in a frenzy. Do a rouse check. She failed, so you get a little
Ew.
hungrier.
That's guys.
Roll your paper.
Roll on my paper.
So 7 dice for her. And I'm just gonna try to,
Jeez, I'm gonna bring
You can arouse the blood too. If you want.
No manners. Alright. 4 successes.
Didn't use anything?
Why are you asking me?
Do you want to use it?
I-
You have 4 successes, so you can rouse the blood in this, where you essentially you roll, you might get hungry, but you get an extra die. Or you can use willpower, which you have 4 left to re-roll 3 of your regular die.
Okay, I'm gonna use a willpower.
Okay. You got 3 left.
Hey, alright.
Alright there. 6 successes altogether.
6 will do it. So,
I'll tell you all about it. Yeah.
17 Dread Gaze.
did you get any criticals on that?
No.
Okay, so you manage to turn around as this thing's clawing at you, and you just stare this gargoyle in the eyes, and just give it the look. As the claws that were just systematically tearing into you drop at its side, and then go in front of it defensively, and it just methodically just starts walking backwards, keeping a defensive posture,
Nice.
but just locked on you and walking back. Lady Catherine's still hanging on. Doesn't even seem worried about that right now, as it's not sure what's happening, but it's starting to walk away from you.
Okay.
What would you guys like to do?
I really want to find the creepy ass vampire Algernon, so I can drink him and not be invincible.
If
You
I
can drink-
give her some of my blood, will she try to Diabloize me if she's frenzying, or can I separate from
Only
her?
one way to find out.
I have to roll well for it to not happen.
Oh.
Do you want to risk it? You know she's not that strong, so you might be able to keep her
You
off.
honestly might be
There
able
we
to slap
But
her
she's
aside.
also in a frenzy, so who knows?
Yeah.
It's up to you.
Go back to sleep. Just stake yourself.
You'd stake me just to get me out of the way for a minute. I'd understand.
Yo, not a bad
You know what?
idea.
I'm so moved by love.
Aww.
Pity.
This is so wholesome.
Okay.
That I am going to try to use my own blood to calm her down.
Okay. So as you're on this thing's back, he's walking backwards. You smell fresh, kindred vitae as Lady Angelique bites into her own wrist. And that smell, even with willpower, if you in the frenzy, is not enough. As you jump from the gargoyle, tackling her to the ground, as you are trying to make it towards just your wrist and her mouth, so she's not completely just consuming you from the neck. as you begin to drink. So, you are more potent than her. So you'll get hungry by 1. Lady Angelique will, which means you will go down by 2. But you're still in the friends. So, you're at hunger. What's her hunger at then?
2. Oh no.
Maybe 3 now. So you're at hunger 3 of 5 right now. Okay. You can try to stop her, and maybe she's now at the point where you can dominate or break through, and it'll stick. Or if you feed her 1 more, she'll be good. But then you'll be very close to not being good.
Okay. I'm just to make it easy, because you care about her, I'm going to just give her 1 more at risk of myself.
It was so much fun playing with you.
You drink again. Your hunger goes down to like 2 more. That just puts you at 1 hunger, right?
Yeah.
Lady Angelique at 4 hunger. With this, give me a composure resolve.
Me?
Mm-hmm.
At my new hunger?
Yep.
Oh.
Is it a bestial failure, I see?
No.
It's 2 in a beast.
You want to use anything?
Yes.
You can arouse on this too. But you do have to set it before.
I'll just use another willpower, because...
Yeah, you don't need this.
Nobody needs willpower. Yes.
4 successes.
4. Okay. So with that, as she's just bearing on you, drinking, you can feel your own beast get hungrier and hungrier, wanting to lash out. And then she's able to pull herself away. And you can see into her eyes, it's her again.
Catherine. My beautiful Catherine. Are you alright?
I'm so sorry. Are you
No,
okay?
don't apologize. I'm fine. I'm very thirsty, but I'm...
Well, it seems like there's a house full of people. If you want to grab a bite.
I would love to, especially with you.
Then, let's find our host, shall we?
Indeed. Let's.
Okay.
To the big pond?
You're heading back to the house? Okay,
Mm-hmm.
so Lady Angelique, Lady Catherine, bloody, hand in hand, go through this hedge maze, coming out the other end,
Golf girlfriends.
where you are in the back of this mini castle. And you can see those big back window doors are open. You can see quite a few what you would assume to be security. Armed, ready. You see Algeron well behind some of the biggest ones, peeking over. As soon as he sees you, he still cowers. It's not too late. I really don't want to have to do this. But I will have them fire on both of you and end things right here, right now. Is there anything you two want to do?
Well, we could just walk away if you feel like it.
No. You're going to do what I say, or you're going to die here.
All right, Algernon, we will do what you say, just please don't hurt her.
All right, he says from behind a few bodyguards. That's more like it. As he peeks out for just a second, straightens his jacket. So what's it going to be then? Going to finish her, or are you both going to behave?
Well, I think we should just all get along better together. What do you think? Unless you have one of those smoldering looks you gave to the gargoyles.
Lady Angela, you have a few things at your disposal, if that's what you're looking at.
I'm going to play nice. I don't want any violence. Not right now. It's been too long. I just don't want Catherine getting hurt.
Fair.
Then I guess we play nice.
So,
I'm sorry.
the next drink going to be from her or from me?
Well, I've already drank plenty from her tonight. I guess you'll just have to be the last of it.
Good. Well, we'll all likely be much more obedient moving forward. I think this was a good decision. Glad you've come to your senses. Approach.
The bodyguard move out of the way immediately.
If she does anything, you know what to do. He'll bite his wrist. One last drink, and this will all be better. I'll just sort of shoot one more glance at Lady Angelique.
I drink from it.
Okay.
I don't stop.
Okay. Drink. Give me. So after this next drink, you would feel quite different towards him, even after just one more sip, as he's already fed you a couple of times. And it's going to take a force of will if you're going to keep drinking. If you're going to defy him.
Yeah.
So if you're going to spend a willpower, or you can give me a. I think it's composure resolve. Yeah.
I know I ask this every time, but I'm just trying to remember Fortitude, Unspeakable Mind. Come and play it all.
Not on a blood. Okay. His dominate presence card.
Composure and resolve, you said?
Mm-hmm.
Can I rouse?
You're
Yeah.
drinking.
Drink.
Nice.
Three successes.
Okay, so you've only fed 3 times, so that's the rating. So you continue drinking. As he starts to try to push you back. And this, Lady Angelique, you would see now a lot of the weapons are instantly turned away from you and onto her. As they seem ready
Catherine!
to fire.
Catherine, stop! Please stop!
I'm gonna take a note out of your book and pretend that I'm into it. and,
Like, this is a very fun twist time.
I'm on couch while I'm
make
taking a break.
satisfied noises as if I'm embroiled
Give
in
me
passion.
manipulation subterfuge.
It's a good move. Is what I will say.
It's the move, some would say.
Can I rouse?
Nice.
You're drinking. You don't, get hungry.
You know?
Ooh.
What a roll.
Do you have any will left?
I have 1. And if I use that,
You're impaired.
Just for social roles. You don't do those.
I don't think it needs to be social after this one, so.
Yeah.
Yeah.
yeah. I can't Shut up.
Are you gonna will?
Trying to use...
I can't. No.
What?
Can I also do something else, or do I need to wait my turn?
Yeah, so you pretend like you're into it, and you sort of let out this overplay it, let out this uncomfortable moan.
Everyone feels it.
Yeah.
All the
Well,
guards
I'm in the
shy
ocean
away
and I
because they're
shudder.
uncomfortable.
It takes that instant.
Yeah, he pulls you by the hair off of his wrist and just looks at you. Nice try. Fetch me my steak. You see, one of the guards goes past you, Lady Angelique, back into the maze to get the stake that was in you. I'll give you a little bit of time to cool off, and when I bring you to, and give you enough feedings to make sure you're as obedient as your sire, everything should be better. Yes?
Oh, I'm sure it can only get better from here.
Either of you want to do anything?
I'm just going to casually come up behind Turge, looking incredibly remorseful about everything in my life.
Okay. Some of the guards or weapons go to you if you step forward, but Algernon makes a motion and they let you approach her.
I'm sorry, Catherine.
So, just before I say anything, how entranced with him am I really? Like, is that a feeling I can fight a little bit, so when I say stuff, I can just dog him, or...
No, I mean, you feel an admiration, an unwavering loyalty. Unless you want to use a willpower or roll against it to act against him for a turn.
Can I roll against it again? Composure and
Resolve.
Thank you. And I'm gonna rouse.
Lady Angelique, is there anything you want to do?
No, I can't really act against my Domitor without, actively trying to. I'm just going to stand behind.
You could do
and
the
make sure
same
she doesn't
thing
do
if
anything
you.
Stupid.
So if you want to, you also have willpower. You have 3 to use. So if you use a willpower, you can act on your own accord for a turn.
I'm gonna save my willpower. I'm just gonna make sure she doesn't do anything stupid.
Okay. Right now you're just trying to keep everyone alive. That works.
That tracks, thank you.
When she does something stupid,
Yeah.
then we'll worry about whose willpower is
We never
being
have
used.
anybody doing that.
The hero we needed.
So after a moment,
So restrained.
did you roll?
Yeah, or
So you can do or say as you like for this turn. He's sort of, you can tell he's looking around a little nervously. He just keeps scanning, looking towards the garden, looking towards each of you.
I reach up and caress his arm.
If you reach towards him, he steps back. One of the guards steps between you. Enough of your tricks. Just wait for the stake and everything will be better. You know you can trust me.
Please, do we really need to stake her? It's not another way. Something else, please.
Think of how much better you felt after you were staked and fed some of my, what I'm told is quite delicious blood.
Delightful.
Oh, you just need to make sure your unruly child is as obedient as you are, and then I promise you the 3 of us will live happily ever after. After a moment, one of the mortals comes back with the stake. And he goes, "Where are the others? The gargoyles?" Or just shakes his head.
Some of us are bigger monsters. At this point,
He says, "Find them. We need them."
can I use majesty on the mortals?
Yeah. Majesty could work on all the mortals here. Lady Angelique, yeah, you see her compose herself, and you see a hint of defiance. You know that look. She gave it to you sometimes. And you know she's getting ready to do something. This is something you would also like to do. To either hinder her or go all in and help her.
I'm gonna try to help her since she's gonna do something stupid. I'm gonna
Jump
Go
on the
down with the
bandwagon.
ship.
something stupid together.
Welcome to
Cool.
Table Gal.
Yeah, now we're playing.
So you'll use another will. You still have 2 left. You're quite hungry, but is there something you want to do? You have a few. I don't know if you have your sheet pulled up. There's some fortitude. You have dread gaze. You have some dominate stuff. You have mass manipulation.
Ooh,
Which
that sounds.
would work on everyone here. They all seem to be mortals.
Yes, can I mass manipulate the mortals to leave?
Yes. So, give me your majesty check, and then give me 7 dice for her.
Okay. 7 dice with
Mhm.
2, 4,
Oh, actually, this... Ooh,
300.
this is going to be a rouse. To mass manipulate, if you still want to do it.
No. No, I'm more hungry. No, I don't want to do that then.
She owes you.
There's lots of donors around.
Well, okay.
But it's up to you.
No,
Not everyone's as
anything.
comfortable frenzying as these players are.
Do it. It's so fun.
No, it's honestly the worst part of the night.
So it's up to you.
I don't want to rouse the blood. I'm just gonna put myself in between the stake and her.
Okay. So, give me your majesty.
Charisma and... Can I rouse?
Yeah.
100.
Oh, damn. Oh, she messy.
2, 6, 7, 8 with the beast. 8 with the beast.
8 mess.
8 messy.
8 messy with the beast.
So if 8 messy fails, then she be
I don't care if I scare the shit out of them now. Like, they can run away, that's fine. Mostly I wanted to make them love me, but...
That would be nice.
I'll set up for them running away too.
Yeah. Once again, give me a physical roll for her. Roll 5 dice with 4 hunger.
I'm sorry.
No.
What bestial?
And
Can someone else roll for her? I'm ruining it. I'm so sorry.
What did you get?
One
one
bestial.
success, and then a bestial if it fails.
Yeah, it is. Okay.
5th edition is actually really fun if you give it a chance.
It's really fun when
Couple
you
things
don't
happen.
roll with my dice.
Lady Angelique is now in aggravated ruins. As the person coming up with the stake, she steps in the way, and he comes with the stake. Luckily, just under the margin to do a straight staking, but still plunging it deep in your chest, injuring you. She bestial fails, and you go from just taking the stake into biting him as the beast came out in this fight.
That's actually good though.
Yeah,
And-
I'm going to drain this dude.
I like
Do
it.
you want to go all the way and drain him?
Yeah, I've been asleep for 40 years. I'm going to drain this dude.
Okay. So you just succumb to the beast for this moment, and you drink and drink and drink, holding him where he's pushing the stake further, but it missed the heart, so he can push as far as he wants. That's more blood for you as you start to mend a little bit as you just drain this guard completely. And when they finally drop, you look around. The room is empty. You didn't even hear the thundering of all these guests and guards sprint out in the mad dash when her bestial majesty kicked in, sending all these mortals in just pure terror out of here. As you are now at 0 hunger, composed, you see Lady Catherine and you see Algernon just cowering on the ground in front of her, just begging. Sorry, I know it's not too late. We can work something out. Please, mercy. It's the least you can do. I gave you a choice. Mercy, please.
Can I stake him?
You...
Can I spend a willpower and stake him?
Yeah, you can. So as he does, and he sees, you see a moment of relief as he has her pretty bloodbound, and he sees her step up with a stake as he steps up behind you. And he goes from begging, you see the slightest smirk, but then she moves past and just drives it into his chest instead. as he just goes completely stiff like a board, and then just falls onto the stake completely still. Now it's the two of you in the staked Algernon in this empty ballroom.
Catherine. Are you alright?
Frankly, the best I've felt in 40 years.
I think I can say the exact same thing. I can't believe I'm finally seeing you again. After being trapped in a prison of my own mind for so long, and you're here in front of me. I'm sorry. I dreamt about this day for so long. Now, it's finally here. You're finally here. And and then I'm going to just immediately wrap my arms around her.
For once, Catherine doesn't really have anything to say. I feel like she always has something to say, but she just cries.
This is probably the one person who you've ever been comfortable. You've looked up to her. You enjoyed her as your sire. She's a strong person. Seeing her like this makes you, for the first time in a long time, it's okay to be vulnerable. And you probably haven't had a vulnerable moment, a comfortable vulnerable moment, since you've been out of torpor.
Sewers.
Yeah. So as you both just embrace, just let go for a little bit, that is where we can take our first break, call our first session.
So beautiful.
Yeah. So thank you so much. That was awesome for being here.
Thank
I'm
you.
sorry I almost killed you.
I tried promising her light dice rolling in combat, but I'm like, I don't know with her, it might go to that, and it did.
I've been planning on killing this guy for a while
Yeah.
since I met him, so thanks for enduring that.
No, that was awesome. That was a
That
really
was-
cool
that's
moment.
Dread gaze?
good.
Dread gaze.
Gaze is bad.
Dread gaze is great. I
Yeah.
love Dread gaze.
That's
Yeah.
badass.
So if you want to see her, is your LARP character of Dreadgaze? Probably. You want to see her do it in real life? You can. What's your LARP character playing? You're like the main thing. Are you like a former Justicar or Scourge? Or...
Yes, I am playing the former Justicar Madame Guy. She's done a lot of very terrible things. So there's a reason why she's a former Justicar, and she is supposed to be executed later in 2020. So she's been exiled to Orlando for the time being, awaiting her execution. And just so happens the new Toreador Harpy has planned this party.
Ooh.
Okay. So if you want to see someone probably also doing some terrible things, probably it sounds like a worse person, Lady Angelique, but you did awesome. That was
that
great.
was
Thank
awesome.
you so much.
Yeah.
So much fun.
I mean, if you guys still need me to play her, I will gladly do it. I think there's a lot more role-playing shenanigans for Catherine there.
It's up to you. We could do that. We'll get into some of the others. We'll talk about it in a second. We'll figure it out. But let's go on a break and then we'll see what happens. That was awesome.
Cool.
Thank
All right.
you.
Bye. All right, we are back after a heartwarming ending to finally our two venture, staking Algernon. We're going back out to sea, where Tommy and Alice have found a boat. A passing ship in the night. What's the plan here?
What kind of boat is it?
Seems to be a shipping boat, like a small barge.
Moving pretty slow though.
Yeah, you could probably intercept it. You're not gonna be able to catch it, but as it's heading towards you, you could probably get to a spot where you'll intercept it.
Okay.
Both of you swimming towards it?
Yeah. No, I'll
Okay. So yeah, you guys swim up to where you can intercept the barge. Yeah. You don't have the thing where you could just grip on stuff. So what's the approach here? How are you going to get on a moving boat from the water?
Is there a spot, usually where you drop the anchor on a ship, you could reach it from the water? So
Yeah, it's a relatively lowish barge. You'll have one shot. You miss it, this barge is going faster than you, but you might be able to grab the chain. If that's what you want to do. Okay. This will be a strength athletics.
I'll throw a life raft.
Appreciate it.
This isn't the same scene. My buttons would be activated still, or?
Yeah, you have to reactivate it. You'll be waiting around a little bit.
I'll probably be alright.
Fish.
All right.
It's not bad what I got.
Well.
Yeah.
I'll go ahead and use a willpower.
You're all using little powers tonight, huh? I just got one more.
4. Both of you manage to sort of push up and grab and each get a hold of the chain. And just with your upper body strength, pull yourselves up to the front. Like I said, it's a low barge, just maybe like 4 containers, 2 side by side, and just the little, the pusher, the little actual boat part, which is pretty tall, so they can sort of see over it. You see a guy behind the wheel. You can see his mouth moving quite a bit. He's looking out, and you can't hear what he's saying, obviously. You might be able to hide his senses.
Oh, yeah.
But between like the crashing of the waves and whatnot, I'm not sure what he's saying. He's saying something.
I'll activate.
Okay. You activate, take a moment to sort of really focus and try to ignore the waves getting a little closer, and you watch his mouth, and you can see that this guy's just singing his heart out. He's just out doing his boat, singing some song to himself, just on his little boat. Doesn't seem to have noticed either of you.
Well, I'll go down here. I'll see if I can control the boat.
Yeah, alright.
Yeah, I'll start to move that way and activate unseen passage.
Okay. Okay, you go invisible. You go up, and climb sort of the steep sort of ladder stairs to get to where he is. There's still a door closed. You have to open the door, which you definitely notice a door opening right behind him. Like I said, it's just one kind of captain's room.
Sure. Okay.
Which I think will make you visible. Or do you have a thing where you're still visible and you interact with stuff, or you become
I don't
visible?
think there's anything like that, but small room though, right? Probably get it pretty quick. Yep. Yeah. So I'll just kind of ready myself and just burst into the room ablaze and tackle him.
Yeah, as an older man, it's not hard. You open the door, and you go, hello, and you just grab him and slam him down. And he's a...
Right, you ones who put us out here.
What? No. Did I? No. You stowaways? What are you doing? You alright?
Someone ditched us in the ocean.
You look awful. You alright, mate?
No, I'm pretty fucking alright.
Oh, I can see that.
Alright, take us ashore now.
Well, that's where I was going.
Oh. Well then. Right then. On your way. Lift him up.
Alright, that's my best off. You're soaked. I'd go a couple rooms below. You could get a cuppa, warm yourself up, take care of yourself.
Right then.
You need to go to the hospital. You look
No, we're alright. We were on a little bogey. Little, some more lifeboat.
Alright, well, you gotta be careful.
Right. No place to be on a spacecraft in the middle of the ocean.
No, it's not. Out here, choppy waters. I'll get you home safe, though. Don't you worry about it.
Right, how long?
It'll be in port in, say, a couple hours.
Oh. Alright. Got another last one.
What? Alright. Is she alright?
She'll be fine.
Alright, yeah, take care of yourselves. Everything you need down there is yours.
Tommy's name.
Tommy. That's my name. Yeah, a couple of Tommies.
Nice to meet you, Tommy.
Nice to meet you, Tommy.
I'll open the door and kind of lean out and say, right, he's alright.
I'm
Yeah.
alright.
Alright.
You alright?
Yeah, I'm alright.
Alright.
An insight real quick just to make sure.
Who's up?
He seems like he's being earnest. Not lying to me. Was that Wits insight?
Tommies.
Super fail. I'm just gonna eat this dude. That's great. I didn't boost this.
Yeah, it's just a simple
Just a
little
simple
boat.
tapping.
Salt, man.
Right. Yeah, kind of call them pals.
Come on up.
Right, Alice, Tommy.
Tommy.
Alice.
Nice to meet you. I can
Yeah.
tell them there's some tea downstairs if you want to get warmed up. Anything you look soaked to the bone.
He's already
Hold
heading
up.
into port.
No.
No.
When you would have roused. Overnight you would have. Overnight. Alright, yeah, just get comfortable. I'll get you in. And,
I'll ask him real quick. Right, where are we? Exactly.
I mean, you're a couple hours outside of London.
Okay.
Alright. Yeah. Yeah. We'll just sail you back in the port.
Seems too easy, Tommy.
Right. I've expected you. Give us trouble or something.
Yeah.
Right, it's gotta be faster than swimming though, right?
Yeah, I can.
Significantly. Alright,
Is there anybody else in the boat? Yeah. Searching around.
you see one guy who's like knocked out, just passed, like asleep. Like he's taking a nap downstairs, like probably more of a maintenance person. Just taking a nap on a cot. You guys even rummaging around doesn't seem to wake him up. Just sort of turns a little bit from the noise. And that's it. Dude, even older than the captain. But yeah, you get dropped off.
Oh, and that's Tommy to recap the story that he told the guy on top, so we're on the same page.
Yeah.
Okay, cool.
Yeah, man. Doesn't ask many questions and sends you on your way. Where'd you like to go?
Right, so somebody obviously
Yeah.
your Lady Catherine Stein
Yeah.
grabbed us during the day. Perhaps we should check on her. Do you know where she's at?
Lady Catherine, no. I have a stone on her. But when her friend, the one who gave us the hotel,
Perhaps.
so we could talk with her.
Right. How about we head back? See if she's there.
Yeah, hotel. Alright.
Okay. Make your way through the city to the Beaumont. Go up to the top floor. It's not there.
I checked the safe.
Safe is fine.
All of the Mithras stuff is in the safe.
Mhm.
Good.
I've been freaking out about that for like an
Yeah,
hour
I know.
or so, but
Crisis. Okay, lock that back up.
But that's innocent.
I'll search my guns.
My God.
This might be in the moon house.
I think those are in the moon house.
Do I,
Did you see the note she left?
says she's out to fight monsters, so that's, like, it's nothing, right?
Right, that means
Okay.
fuck off.
I was
me-
afraid to
You like
write
cats?
the address because I didn't know what had happened.
There wasn't
Like,
an
they-
address anyway.
Oh,
Well,
oh,
I was
but,
gonna put his other house address. Was what I was gonna do, but I
You
didn't.
didn't, so.
So, and it's in them on a wild goose chase, and they don't give a shit.
Alright, what you guys want to do?
Well,
and
then,
I can find her if we get a picture of Lady Catherine.
Alright.
So,
Check her things, didn't she have a picture of her?
yeah, I'll kind of look around and see if I can find
You have a picture of her belongings that they took? Or was that her
Or
picture? Somebody had a picture.
I don't.
That was me.
Of you and Angelique.
I thought you had one of you and Angelique too.
I don't know.
You had one. I thought of you and your
I had one
Maybe.
with my unit.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
You had the ring.
Green. I thought there was
Okay.
something else.
No, it could be wrong. There's fucking cameras everywhere in the city. You
Well,
don't have a
and-
goddamn picture.
Do we know his number? We don't have our phones, right? Do we have his number memorized?
You'd know his number. You use a hotel phone. You know.
Alright, I'll dial his number.
Okay.
Can I? Does it have to be like an actual photograph, or can we like draw one in theory if we were good enough at drawing for this to work? Is what I'm trying to figure out.
So since you're very familiar with what she looks like, if you want to give me a craft
Wait.
check to see how well you could draw one.
Wait, I don't know. I just need a ribbon.
And if you
Yeah, I
know
didn't
what
think
they
you
look
needed a
like,
picture.
I don't
Yeah.
know why I thought that.
Dumb.
because if you don't know what it looks like,
Bad
you
Tremere.
I am a veteran. Alright, I will just dig out a ribbon then and,
Sure, you can find a ribbon among your things and do your ritual. Go ahead and do your ritual roll. What level is this?
this is level 2,
You'll need 3 successes.
which is intelligence plus blood sorcery fair.
Yes.
I need 3 successes.
Mm-hmm.
She got 3 successes.
All right. You see, as the ribbon starts to burn, her eyes seem to reflect this fire, and you can see sort of a smoldering trail of where Lady Catherine is walking, getting out of the room into the elevator.
I got a trail.
Well, 1 second.
Yeah.
Dial in, Henry.
Once they're watching Hebrew season.
Right?
That was a great movie.
Yeah.
Could I have done stuff before? It took hours to get back to shore, right? Could I have done stuff?
Maybe.
Sure. So you'll call, and you'd probably be in the middle of collecting some things. We'll get an answer.
Alright.
Well, I would have tried her cell phone when I first woke up.
It's too wet.
'Cause I needed, so I would go probably just to.
You could call around, no one answered.
Yeah. Well, I just needed her because she had the dagger.
Mm-hmm.
We would have got it back in the same.
Mm-hmm.
But I wasn't there at the hotel. I thought it was still your fucking leg.
That's fair.
And then yeah.
What are you doing?
I would like to eat one.
Sure.
I have to pray. I have to love. I would like to, with Paul Winston's help, if he can get me some cadavers from some dead bodies from the hospital, and I need to fetch me a live body, bring it back to my.
a live one.
Yes, you're not there.
So
Just
you send
clarifying
Winston
the
to
audience.
get some cadavers from the morgue, which is a
Yeah.
hookup at the hospital. And what sort of person are you going?
I just need a live person, so just
The old live.
Living one.
I just
You're just
did
gonna
the
walk
old
out on the
live
street,
body.
and the next person who passes, stick him with a needle.
the old one.
What's your approach here? Are you gonna get a live
Monster
person?
and fighting.
I would like to.
Someone has.
I would like to see if I could use my ghost.
If you want to use your last favor of your ghost, I'll say your ghost can retrieve a live person for it.
I can get another ghost.
So is that what we want to do?
Yes.
All right. You send your puppeteer specter out. Did you any instructions, or just bring me back alive one?
Bring me back alive one. No. Not my child. Yep, just need a human corpse. Multiple human corpses and a fresh human sacrifice. Yeah, easy.
Okay.
Easy.
Send them out. After a little bit, so where, are you going to wait in your lab?
Yeah.
So you're waiting in sort of the basement of your abandoned store, hidden laboratory beneath. Within the hour, a woman, you hear screaming, you hear some doors slamming upstairs. She's running in, you see this woman run in, slam the door behind her, and look in and see you.
What's wrong, my dear? What's wrong? Someone chasing you.
It's going to sound insane, but I saw a ghost, and it chased me here. I don't know what's going on. What is this place?
Come here.
No! What? And she's looking around your weird laboratory in the
I
basement.
got hot tea on.
There's 2 live corpses that are here.
And then she's going to turn and go to run out.
Yeah, I'm gonna rush. She goes behind her.
Sure.
Yeah.
Come on. She's fiddling with notoriously
I'll send Roscoe to fight her.
door. Yeah, at the core, he runs up and starts biting at her legs. She's trying to kick off, and you're just shh. Inject her with your anesthesia.
Winter. He's getting the cadavers. I'll bring this one myself.
All right. And as you're preparing her, you get a phone call.
Busy. Hang up.
Fuck off.
You're answering?
Yes.
All right.
Hello.
Henry, what the fuck?
Tommy, is that you?
Yeah.
Did he flirt with you again?
Why you guys not answering my phone calls?
What? We don't got phones. Seeing as we woke up at the bottom of an ocean.
What?
Right. That's what I'm asking.
I don't know anything about that.
Well, fucking where have you been?
Like I said, my lab.
Right, so can't get a hold of any of us. And you think to dilly-dally in your lab?
Yeah. Exactly, that's what I do. I have important things to take care of before we do this whole sacrifice thing to get Mithras back.
Mm-hmm.
Before we reach out to Peter Thomas. I dilly-dally. It's my specialty. I got $5.
Right, Henry.
Tommy.
When you're a unit, you look out for each other. Your arse. Hang up.
Okay.
Finally, back to my work.
All right. You
God, he's talked forever
Yeah,
sometimes.
when she
Begin
said I'm missing
preparing
still.
to
No.
sacrifice this woman once your ghoul brings some corpses for you.
That's why he doesn't care.
You two, you have the trail.
Jimmy?
You call Jimmy, your Nosferatu cab driver, who picks you up in a jiffy.
Oh yeah,
And,
front seat and I'll just direct it.
Yeah, you direct him, point him each road to take. Takes you a little while outside of the city until you reach this Magpie Manor. Gates wide open. You can see some cars crashed in the driveway. It seems like you don't know what happened. You're pandemonium.
Lady Catherine certainly was here.
Jimmy goes, I'm just going to drop you off here. I'll circle around if you need me.
Yeah, it sounds good.
Cheers. And yeah, as you walk up, you can see, even on the drive up, you would see, even though you're in a rural area, you've seen a lot of people, strains of the joggers this time at night, people running down the street and whatnot. Didn't think much of them just passing until you got close.
They look like real scared for joggers.
Yeah. But yeah, eventually come into this sort of mini castle to see Lady Catherine and another beautiful woman, sort of ball gown type dress, clearly heavily wounded, blood all down her front, and you see a handsome staked individual in the middle of the ballroom. As you come in, and those two are just releasing from a hug, you see your friends approach.
Fucking hell. This isn't the party I get invited to. Looks like you had a hell of a time.
Yeah, we've been on a fucking boat for hours.
I mean, next time I'm sure we can manage you an invite as well. But this time I was the guest of honor, and I did it up well, as you can see. Let me introduce my friend here.
Do we remember?
Thank you.
Follow-up
Thank
post.
you.
I was
Frenzy.
gonna say comrade, but but I thought that was weird.
Lover.
Lover. Can I just say it like that?
Yeah.
Hello, I'm Lady Angelique. I am Catherine's sire.
Right.
Among other things.
Among other things, indeed.
Yes, we were wrapping up the party here, as you can see, and I kick Algernon's body.
See this
Hard.
stiff, regally dressed, I assume kindred.
Right, did he, see the one who left him at the bottom of an ocean?
I mean, there's a good possibility, I suppose. It seems like they did invade my room, leave me a dress and an ultimatum, and you all were missing. So probably. But I suspect we have bigger fish to fry with this. I was thinking of burning God Save the Queen in the front yard, but I don't know if that's a little too on the nose.
Right, but should we do something with him? Likely has
Do something.
ghouls running around if he's going to kidnap us in the middle of the day. Might come back and
if I
pull that
could
stake out.
suggest something, a non-enthralled kindred might say, leave him out for the sun, but of course I wouldn't say such a thing.
Right, or I could tear his head off.
Yeah, that's what I was gonna go for. But I mean, I'm gonna have to do it.
Well, I guess my question is, before we decide on his sentence, which will certainly be death in some form or another, who are his great friends that he's made? They have been alluded to multiple times by multiple knowledgeable kindred, and my assumption is the Queen. Our dear Prince of the City.
Right, but Mithras is about to be back. Fucking who cares about who cares now?
I start to move towards him.
Well, obviously it's not you that gets to kill him.
Right, go ahead, try.
Go ahead and try.
Catherine dear, yes, we can discuss killing him in due time, but please do introduce your friends to me as well.
Yes.
I like
Like
her.
a-
I like her.
Formal introduction.
Well, this is Alice. Alice.
Wow.
Fucking kill you.
I'm kidding. This is Alice. And Tommy. And we're where's Henry? He
Dilly dally in his lap.
busy things. Okay.
Hey,
well,
working
Henry.
in the
Lady Angelique, you met us before.
Maybe.
Do I recall have meeting them?
Probably with Mithras.
You recognize them. You were part of the cult of Mithras, and
Okay.
these were also members of the cult. You weren't necessarily close to them. You went into Torpor before you were heralds, before the ritual. So you vaguely recognize the faces. You would recognize Alice was the handmaiden of Mithras, sort of his lead sorceress. Tommy was his executioner.
All right, I do believe I remember you, handmaiden and executioner, correct?
If you fucking say so.
40 years of sleep and my mind is still as sharp as a tack.
Figure. Lucky you.
It's more than we can say.
What happened? I do not remember after the. Sorry, I was asleep for quite a while.
Us nearly as long. There was a ritual. Mithras told us to be
Heralds.
Yeah, heralds. He told us to be his comrades. His heralds. And the ritual it mixed our memories with those who performed it and kind of covered up a lot of us. We're still remembering most of our lives, to be honest. So there are probably things you could fill in for us that we might not know.
So, Catherine, you don't remember a lot of us?
Most of the memories I do have that are my own are of you. And those are the only ones that are stuck with me.
That's good. I was worried there for a second that you hadn't remembered any of the time that we spent together on those wonderful evenings.
I don't think we would have survived tonight if I hadn't remembered. And then I sheepishly look at the two of them and go back to being my stern lady British self.
While they're having a conversation, this is a castle, you said? So there's decorative swords somewhere on the wall, right?
If you want to go milling about, sure, you could find one.
No way, Lily.
I get one.
Yeah. So you see Tommy, as you're talking about this, you guys are having your moment. Tommy just sort of wanders off.
I'm gonna go with it. Keep an eye on it.
You don't have to wait long. He comes back with a sword in his hand. He just keeps listening as if that's normal.
Executioner, baby!
Do you remember Meredith, Algernon's sister?
Vaguely. Algernon was not... Back when you knew, he was a ghoul. And a lowly ghoul at that. To one of your fellow venturers. You found out after the fact that he was apparently engaged to Lady Catherine, but that didn't really matter to you. You pursued her anyway, and you got permission to make her your child. Algernon or his family weren't of much importance to you.
Vaguely, I recall something about a sister, possibly, but he was just a lowly ghoul. Why would I care about his family? Honestly.
Well, he seems to have taken the snubbing of our engagement very harshly, and had made his ranks up the ladder, which is why I think he must be connected with the Queen in some way to be able to bond you and attempt to bond me. That would either be a grave offense against our kind or a very highly sanctioned act, is my thinking anyway.
Well, keep in mind, dear, there's nothing specifically in the traditions against blood bonding kindred. So he is, as unfortunate as it is, quite able to legally do that to whomever he wants. But it just depends on which elder he angers from doing that, and then they, of course, get the retaliation.
Yeah. Last you knew is you volunteered for the blooding because Lady Catherine was in torpor from one of the Blitz bombings during World War II. You rescued her, you found her body, but she was in torpor. And it seemed like it would be a while till she got out.
Lady Angelique.
Lady Angelique, yes. She was in torpor from that. So you, knowing you had to wait anyway, were like, fine, I'll do the blooding. I wouldn't be asleep if she's asleep, and I'll wake up, hopefully she's awake.
Which worked out about right.
So he somehow got a hold of her body. Which you don't remember what happened to it, where you would have kept it safe. You don't really know the details of it, but that's what you remember.
I would like to meet your queen. By the way, who is that exactly now?
I'm Mosley. You remember?
You would know Lady Angelique, and she was also a venture. Mithras' right-hand man, Valerius. He had a child, Anne. Valerius fell out of favor with Mithras, but he was still sort of kept around. Anne was considered a lot more capable than him. I mean, she was respected, but she wasn't the upper echelon of Mithras' inner circle or anything like that. But you would definitely choose quite an impressive venture.
Yes, well, I'm glad to see that the throne's still within the hands of the clan of kings.
It is. I do not trust her there. There's nothing been specifically pointing to it, and she has helped us along the way in reviving Mithras. But I can't imagine something like these events happening without someone very powerful behind it.
No, you're probably right. Honestly, you can't really trust anyone nowadays. Especially kindred.
I have no idea. There are cameras everywhere. Practically
Cameras?
crawling with kindred hunting humans. And it's honestly vile. But, what do we do now?
Well, I would like to be introduced to your queen. I think a formal introduction would be wonderful, and as soon as I can get acknowledgement with the city, then I can re-establish myself as the Carvel.
Sounds delightful. Shall we, stow our dear friend, somewhere safe? So
What?
that should
Yes.
In how many pieces?
So that should we find a reason to barter for him, with him, however it turns out, we have him in our command. We can use him.
I know.
That's good.
Yes. Stow him and go meet Queen. Sound good? Can we burn the castle?
Oh, well, we could.
Too big of a statement.
Yes, I would say so. Especially since we scared all those mortals away, and then I am concerned about Masquerade because of that. But, I'm just not going to worry about that right now. Let's go meet the Queen, shall we?
Do we have a car?
Yeah, you need to round the block.
Okay. Tommy, do you want to drive him out? Don't kill him yet, please. It's really, since I've woken up, this is literally what I've wanted.
Have all the fun at the party. Have old Tommy come by and clean up the mess.
You got to kill the antigen at the last thing, which was also my job, so don't take this one, please. Well, we meet Jimmy at the cab.
Sure.
Before we go leave the ballroom, I want to do sense the unseen.
Okay.
Now we do that.
Oops. I'll just let you get stuff.
I
would want to do that.
place is riddled. Blood source rewards. In fact, the layout of this place, this strange construction sort of shape, it doesn't really make sense. It makes sense if it's to sort of help with thaumaturgy. This is a Tremere chantry. Lady Angelique probably knows enough about Tremere to know that you've seen gargoyles, which are Tremere troops, essentially. Very rare. And Tremere, a few things start to make sense in the fact that, you know the Tremere, you know Mithras hates the Tremere. You were a spy. But you know this Tremere here now, which means they had to have had a way in. And the only way in was through the venture. So you're starting to understand this friend that Algernon probably made, most likely the Tremere. And you know they're very guarded of their secrets. That's why you were in such high esteem, so you were able to take some of that. So for them to lend out something like their gargoyles and wards, he had to have either been deeply in their debt or done something to where they owed him big. Or both.
Everything okay?
Yeah, it's just, this place is chantry, it's Tremere.
This place is Shamir.
This is all magic.
That explains the gargoyles.
They're
Gargoyles.
gargoyles.
Yeah.
Yep.
That tracks.
Yep.
Yeah. You looked around, just like.
No, I was whisked to a scary garden, and there was a fight, and that was about all I've seen except for blood.
Yeah, I bet there's a library in here somewhere. We'll stick around for a bit.
If you think it's safe for a few minutes, I don't see why not.
Yeah, let me look around real fast and see if I can get anything useful. And then I wanna strap.
Give me intelligence occult.
By the arm around the building.
Six.
6. There's indeed a library. Your book was stolen with a lot of your rituals and whatnot. And you were able to find a book with some of these and then some. Some old ones that looking through, you were starting to remember, yeah, I think I could probably do this again. You find, a well-used book of some Tremere blood sorcery rituals. And, it seems that this was Algernon's. And some of the notes made, and notes, you can see some notes from an instructor and some notes Algernon's made. The instructor being Edward Bainbridge.
Where is that before?
You have?
Yeah.
This person, he'd be after Lady Angelique's time. But his name you heard not that long ago.
Yeah.
He's the Tremere Primogen in the city. He was the one that Asa was trying to get you to work against. Oh, now you'll help.
No, we're not going to help her, but we'll work against him.
So yeah, you have that information. Are you gonna make a call or are you gonna get in the cab?
That's a question for you.
And this phone's here. If you like to use them. Tommy would probably know. You've called the number before. If you're trying to call the Queen, Tommy knows it.
Can I check Algernon's for our phones? For anybody's phone?
Yeah, actually looking around, you would see where your stuff is taken. It's stored in an office of his. Just sort of.
Was my ring taken?
No.
Maybe he wasn't so bad after all.
So yeah, you'd have your phones again.
You ready to see the Queen?
Yes, I am. I suppose you should be letting someone know in advance that I'm coming. It would be proper, of course.
Would you like to change or go as is?
I think I should probably change.
Do we have time to go back to... Are all my clothes still up in the house?
You have a lot of your things at the Beaumont.
I mean, yeah, Beaumont, sorry.
There's things here if you need them.
Would you like to change here?
Sure, if we can find something proper.
Yeah, I mean, he has lots of fancy clothes. Some of his ghouls he kept very well dressed, his sister included.
Mm-hmm.
So, you'd find something. What would you like? What are you looking for your Queen meeting outfit?
Something long, probably satin or silk, vaguely reminiscent of maybe the 30s or the 40s, about when I went to sleep. Something that was in style then, because that's, the most recent fashion trends that I understand.
Absolutely. Okay, so she takes some moments getting ready. Someone going to make the call in the meantime?
I will.
Okay. Give a call to The right-hand woman answers Lady Scarlet, you know so well. Hello.
Darling, so good to hear your voice.
Catherine, Lady Catherine, excuse me. I take it you're still well. The city has just become... It's insanity. Honestly, insanity. I mean, I'm embarrassed, but... Here's what it is. I'm glad to hear you're okay. I take it you need our help again.
Oh no, I just wanted to see if our beloved queen was available for a reintroduction. Akin to my own, basically.
Right now, most kindred, those that are still left, are fleeing the city. You're saying you've brought someone in.
Oh, brought someone back, more like it.
Do tell.
You may remember Lady Angelique. She is
Miss Darkwood.
awake and well, and wishes to be introduced to our current prince.
Oh. Alright. It's a name I haven't heard in a while. I'm glad you're reunited, first of all. Congratulations. Let me just say that.
Darling, you're the best.
Me, and on behalf of myself and the Queen, I'm happy you're reunited with your sire. Every kindred, especially kindred as capable as Lady Angelique is, of course. Good news. Obviously you can imagine we're quite disposed at the moment. If this is simply just for a social gathering, I'm not sure the Queen has the time, unless of course you're once again find yourself available to aid us. You did such a good job before. And we, of course, helped you out too with your little cave-in.
Of course, the Malkavian problem. I say very loudly. Glancing at Tommy.
Swinging a sword.
Tommy. No, it was more just that, we ran into our we've had several nice conversations with our, Algernon. We had several nice conversations with him recently, and he really suggested that Angelique, meet the prince, and, as she's an elder, of course,
I thought Algernon hated Lady Darkwood.
Oh, you know Algernon, he's...
I don't very well,
as
actually.
He is. Right.
I'll tell you what.
He's not. Right.
The Queen was hoping you'd call. Two birds with one stone, let's say. You're available immediately to meet.
Oh, yes, quite.
Alright, I'll send you an address. Arrive as soon as you can. Do look forward to seeing you and your sire again.
You are too sweet.
Ta-ta.
What's the word?
Oh, apparently we owe her, for a little Malkavian deal we did recently. And she was hoping we would call because she needs our help. Does that ring any bells?
What? Yeah. Do you remember Crazy Malkavian I told you about her?
I don't recall making any deals about a Malkavian.
Right, you didn't. I did.
So why am I being reminded of it? Her right hand.
Because I didn't fucking tell you.
So, but why am I being called upon to do the favours?
Right? You're the one who called upon her. We should be calling Thomas Pater the son. Not calling on the Queen.
Oh yeah, we got the phone.
Right. We've got to get Mithras back. And perhaps, maybe also when her ain't such a bad thing. Perhaps she'll be thinking to forgive her debts when Mithras is back.
Get a text with an address.
Well, dear, I suppose that you can make the call that you could have made on your boat to her earlier.
Right,
And
because cell phones work when you're sort of under the sun.
you just said you were on a boat.
What?
What boat has a phone?
Yeah, it was like a barge.
What?
It wasn't.
Why were you on a barge?
Oh, fucking hell. I just throw the corpse at her feet.
What's the next
Because of
move?
that.
Are we all going? Or should
I'm
we,
down.
like, call Peter?
Thomas.
Yeah, I have the number.
Yeah, we have our stuff.
Well, you can drop us off on the way.
Alright,
And if you get an answer and some action, then we can move from there.
That's good.
Okay. You dialed Peter Thomas's phone. You hear someone pick up on the other end, but there's no response. You can tell someone is listening.
Right, we have it. We're ready.
Thank you, Tony. You will hear from us soon. You've done well. As we knew you would. He hangs up.
Alright. We'll be in touch.
Yes, we have.
Right. On to it then.
So are all of you heading to this address?
Yeah.
Okay. You head back in the city proper. The address is to a restaurant to arrive at well after its operating hours by this point, but there's still a light on the side. Seems a small upscale place. Okay. You'll approach, and before you, as soon as you reach the door opens. You see Lady Scarlet, business suit, her usual sort of leather folder with the tablet in it. She looks at Lady Angelique. This is another sort of, you suppose, an up-and-comer. She's always been attaching herself to more powerful kindred. But apparently she managed to attach herself to the Queen now. But she was never that impressive on her own right. You know, she had a bit of a rivalry with Lady Catherine in their younger kindred years. Something that was amusing to you, but nothing too serious. Just...
My dear Scarlet, oh, it's a pleasure to see you again.
Oh, the pleasure is mine.
Take it are you the seneschal now, or what position do you have exactly?
There's a lot of vacant positions at the moment. You've woken up in quite a tumultuous time in our city. Seneschal would make sense since our last one. I heard a car about it. Your child might know something about that.
Harbor? Really? How unfortunate.
Vulgar, really. But you know how some kindred are. Anyway, please, all of you, come in. She will lead you inside. Into a back room. Past where the main area is full of ghouls. You see lots of men and women, openly armed in suits. All will watch as you pass. Entering the back room, where not even Lady Scarlet lingers. She lets you into the room but doesn't follow behind you. As you see, sat in a chair at the end of the table, you see the red hair of the elder Queen Anne. Next to her,
I immediately curtsy.
she smiles and nods to you, glancing at the rest.
I'll catch myself and clumsily curtsy.
Follow suit and curtsy.
Gaze just lingers upon her. Have you forgotten yourself?
Right. About a Mithras.
Mithras is back then?
Soon to be.
Well, soon to be, and until then I am your queen. So, please, if you'll do me the honor of remembering your place, Thomas.
Just told me.
Do like a half-ass bow.
Shit. Give me an intelligence resolve.
Yeah.
Those are your strong points, right?
Yeah.
Get those blood die going.
Sir.
Alright.
Oh, jeez. You dilly-dallying over there?
Oh. Only 2 successes. Miss. No.
What?
No,
It's
just 2.
Jesus.
Just kidding.
He's just joshing.
So the sword on you.
No.
Oh.
Do me a favor. If you feel yourself finding it difficult to bow, remove your own legs to make it easier for yourself. If the feeling so compels you again. And with this, you go to a full hands and knees bow before her, just nodding as she is just this all-encompassing figure that you were very wrong to defy. And sure enough, if even the inkling of defiance goes in your head again, you'll take your own legs off if you have to make sure you lower yourself to her. She does that without even getting out of her chair. Looking at the rest of you, her smile returning. Now, allow me to introduce my guest. First, there's a woman sitting next to her. Dark hair and a tight bun. Also in sort of a business attire. Stern pursed lips. Don't believe any of you have had the privilege of meeting Jessica Juliet Parr. All this talk of Kine stirring up trouble in my city, and now this talk of Mithras returning. It's time to venture in the Camarilla, establish order again. So the Camarilla were kind enough to send one of their own forces to help me in this little endeavor. As good kindred are becoming so hard to find. She looks at Tom. But Lady Angelique, how have you been?
I've been, well, honestly, Your Majesty, I've been quite, restful, one could say, lately. But now that I'm awake, I'm doing much better, and I'm very well, thank you.
I appreciate that, even in these times, that you've taken the opportunity to come and pay your respects. That says a lot. You always were. Well, you were selected in our clan for a reason. Always were one of the smart ones. Good taste. And I'm glad to see even after your slumber, you still remember the proper ways.
Thank you, Your Majesty. You honor me with your words.
I know you've been gone a long time, and I frankly am embarrassed at the state of things in the city right now. My first introduction as queen. I wish it wasn't under such dire circumstances. Yet here we are. Perhaps this is a blessing that would come to me during a time where perhaps we both need each other. Do tell, is there anything you need of your queen to reestablish yourself?
All I ask for, Your Majesty, is your acknowledgement and the ability to freely roam within your domain.
I would proceed with caution, as the domain has become quite deadly, even for a kindred as powerful as yourself. You see, the humans, well, frankly, they're out of control. And that's something perhaps we can help fix together. I'm assuming that's why you're here? Yes?
I'm here because propriety demands that I first must be acknowledged in a city before I can exist within it. But if you do need me, I will gladly be of service to your court, Your Majesty.
That is what I would like to hear. And it may be good that this particular group has one who understands and respects the traditions such as you. I'm afraid, while quite capable, they need a firm guiding hand, as I'm sure you possess. So,
I will do my best.
I couldn't help but hear that you're still on about this Mithras business. Does that mean you've found success in collecting your items?
Well, quite nearly. I don't know if we quite made it through yet, though. We have many tasks ahead of us, I'm afraid.
Give me manipulation of subterfuge. Mm-hmm.
Aren't you down? Two
Yeah.
dice?
You don't mess with it.
Nope, been a long night.
You
No, she's
relax?
not down yet.
She's
last.
not
I'm
down.
gonna use my last one.
Okay.
Wouldn't get caught when she's showing off for the Camarilla. But I am going to get caught
But you did.
queen
But you
because
did.
I rolled a 1 altogether.
That's a screenshot I want right there.
Face palm, now you understand.
How I feel every episode.
Hashtag table goth.
Oh, I'm so sorry that this is the one.
Angelique,
Where did I go wrong in my accounting?
even you can tell that your child just lied to the queen. And it doesn't seem like the queen's the only one who noticed, or that Angelique's the only one who's noticed. So Justicar looks to the queen as well. Well, you know I support whoever the rightful ruler of the city is. I'd like to think I've done the best job I can do with what I was given in his absence, but if his return is inevitable, then by all means. But we don't want to bring Mithras back in this mess, do we? No, we don't. I believe we should show him a proper welcome by cleaning up the city. Cleaning up the city of these antigen, as they call themselves. These kind so bold as to hunt us, forgetting their place. Don't you agree?
And most certainly.
Excellent. So, Angelique, you've been asleep for quite some time. You've been through a lot.
Yes, Your Majesty, I'm rather confused about a lot of things that I've heard this evening.
I do owe you an explanation. So perhaps you can stay with me and my side and help me and Justicar Justine Pa here in planning to what we need to do to take back the city. Perhaps a mind unclouded by recent events will be very useful. Wouldn't you say?
Yes, Your Majesty, if you so wish it.
I don't want to do anything you don't want to do, of course. It's a humble invitation.
I am but a servant to the town, Your Majesty.
I do like hearing that. Aren't we all? So, I think it's fair that Lady Angelique stays with me for the foreseeable future. While I have just the place for the Heralds of Mithras to help root out some antigen issues. We've been hiding like rats in these dingy, dark places. It's about time we make sure they understand that they're not safe in their own ivory towers they've constructed. Show them that our tower is stronger. And let's put them on their heels a bit. Shall we? So, upon your safe, I'm sure, return from this little mission I'll give you, you're free to continue, and Lady Angelique, you'll be free to perhaps parcel out. I'm sure I can find a place, a suitable domain for the kindred of your status.
Thank you, Your Majesty.
While your child
Anyway,
and her ragtag group help us carve out a sense of safety in this city. Yes? Is everyone in agreement? Again, I don't want anyone to do anything they don't want to do. But I'm sure you want to help your city, yes?
Of course.
You've been asleep for a while, but London is still your home.
And we have made some delightful work of the antigen as of late.
So I've heard.
Very happy to continue to do so.
Quite capable.
Yes.
You and our Tremere, of course Tommy here. Big sword. So, at the end of the evening, I'll send you all the appropriate information. In the meantime, I'll make sure Lady Darkwood's caught up on the affairs of everything, and safe by my side. Yes?
Of course.
Perfect. We'll be in touch. We have each other's numbers, of course. We're not friends, after all.
But servants of the Queen.
Farewell. I hope to hear of your victories soon. And then, of course, on to Mithras. Lady Angelique, if you'd like to say your goodbyes, I'll give you a moment. She rises with a gesture car, and they step even further into a different back room.
and I walk up to Catherine, and I take her hands in my hands, and I look her in the eyes. Catherine, my dear, I do hope you don't mind me working with Her Majesty.
There is no other choice in this time.
Yes, I'm glad you see it the way I do. I wish we could have more time together, but no doubt, since I will be serving with the court, that we will indeed get to see each other a little bit more frequently, at least, than the past 40 years. But do you remember that time by the lake shore where I laid out a blanket and we stared up at the stars together?
I do.
Yes. And I vowed that I would always protect you and guide you and be there for you. And I still do intend to keep my promise to you.
Well,
in one way or another.
That is what I expect, so keep it.
They say you still have the ring I gave you.
I was separated from it for a while, but lost things don't always stay lost.
That's very true. You were always so bright and intelligent. I'm so very proud of everything that you've become.
Just remember,
I still can't believe I have you in front of me again. You're like a dream. I have to touch you just to make sure you're not going to fade away.
This is not a permanent thing.
No. I hope not.
Our whole reason for existence in this moment is that it does not last this way. So we will bring about a new time to London and a new time for ourselves.
And it'll be wonderful when that day comes and you and I can truly be together again. I look forward to it with all of my heart.
I kind of glance over to the section where the queen bucked off to. Keep our queen safe.
I will. Keep yourself safe.
And best of luck.
Yes.
Okay. With that, you say your final goodbyes, have your final embrace. For Lady Angelique follows for the Queen and the Jesting Harwin. The coterie returns to the main room of the restaurant. The Lady Scarlet is just beaming. Been told I have some information to pass on to you. At the last minute, but I'll get some things together and you'll hear from me by the end of the night. If anyone can do this, it's the Heralds.
Well, darling, there's a reason they send us.
Have a good evening.
Mm-hmm.
You two always were just the cutest couple. I was always a bit envious of you, but love can be pain too, it seems. But what do I know? Ta-ta. She'll lead you out of the restaurant. As we'll take our final break.
You got dread gaze.
Yeah, dread gaze.
Like naturally, yes.
Naturally, yeah.
Ooh, oh, that was good. Bringing the queen into it. I'm
Yeah.
glad we got to do that.
Yeah.
I'm also glad.
Oh, that's good.
I'm glad the bad
I'm-
rolls also affected me rather than just you.
Oh, look what you did to her.
Yeah, you passed the curse to her.
That's the dead gaze, I'm sorry.
Oh. No, that was awesome. That was a good moment.
Yeah.
And a nice bittersweet, mostly bitter passing.
So like, I just have a list of people I'm
The
going
list
to murder
grows.
before
list.
the end of the session, which is
Oh, you'll be alright. But if everything goes well, I mean, Lady Angelique could be in a great position.
I have some advice. If you do decide to Ash Algernon, please get permission first.
We got Mithras. We don't
Well,
need
and that's the thing.
We
Like,
got
Mithras.
Mithras.
Well, that's the thing is that I feel like Queen Anne
the
is
traditions. The traditions.
I'm
Well,
so
and that's-
glad to have this role model of actual
Honestly,
vampiric.
yeah.
That's
Someone
why
who
I
knows the
tried-
rules and is like, guys.
Listen.
We're
this is
always
why I
breaching
tried-
the masquerade
I
every
tried
session.
to call Queen Anne before I went to the party because I was gonna
Oh, I
let
know.
her know, like, hey, he's trying to
Yeah.
fuck things up. I'm gonna take care of him as long as you allow it. But now, like, as long as I bring Mithras back, I can.
As long as they let you
Playing
bring
check.
Mithras back. Yep.
Playing check, yeah.
All right. That's awesome.
Yeah.
Well, thank you again so
Yeah.
much.
Thank you so much.
Plug that stuff again. The LARP.
Yeah. Remind people who you are,
Yes.
where you're from, what they should do.
Alright, again, I'm Astara, also known as Graceful Amaranth with By Night Studios, and we are currently the main producer of the LARP products for Vampire the Masquerade, and we have an event coming up in April called Blood and Betrayal Redemption. It's going to be a continuation of the previous Blood and Betrayal events, and you're going to get to see the exiled Madame Guy await her soon execution, and there's a lot of really fun plot stuff planned. If you want to go ahead and buy tickets, there is a promo code for a discount. It is MET25. That is MET as in Mind's Eye Theater 25. And thank you guys again for having me on.
Yeah, thanks for-
joining.
You
This
did
was so
awesome.
fun. Yeah.
Way better than these guys.
Brought some heart, finally.
Thank you for reminding them that there are rules. So if you go to Blood and Betrayal, there are rules probably that some of the kids will be
We
following.
follow LARP rules.
All right.
We did way better at following LARP
All right.
rules.
Sure.
We're gonna take our break. We're gonna come back to have some more fun stuff. We've seen the last of Lady Angelique for now. And we'll see what happens in the future. All right. Bye.
Bye.
All right. So, you've exited the Queen's Sanctum. You'll hear from her later. What do you three want to do?
Right.
What information did you go with?
Nothing yet.
Listen to us later.
Right, and suppose we should go find what Henry's up to.
Where's he been all night?
Dilly dallying in his lab. He said he was professional or something. He said it was specialty.
We end up with another corgi walking around.
So you get a message from Katie.
Yeah.
Just a text saying you should meet tonight. Something's not right.
Where?
Good place.
Yeah, I might have to take care of something, but I'll be on the phone.
Do you need us, or do you want us to carry on?
I would text, like, how so?
Can we meet? Don't
Mm.
trust phones.
Yeah, I don't really know. I think we'll be alright.
Okay, we'll
I'll call you if anything happens.
sounds good. We'll try to get hold of Henry then.
Right.
Do we know where Henry's lab is? No.
You see that?
Alright. I'll call Henry now that I have my cell back.
Henry.
Yes.
You're preparing your ritual. Waiting for Winston.
Yes.
And that's when you smell it. Fresh blood. There's a door open upstairs. It's human blood. You're having footsteps coming down to the lab. And the door open. You see Winston. Huge tear marks across his chest. Blood just pouring. He's trying to hold it in. You could tell he has like rags, some sort of dirty something they tried to hold the bleeding in. Blood coming from his mouth too. Sorry, sir.
Yeah. I'll go to like a fridge. I would imagine I have blood for him that I've been taking for the last few days to feed him.
Mm-hmm.
I'm gonna start just dumping water.
Okay, yeah. Get your fridge. Pop open your blood bags. Feed it to him.
I assume it was our friend, the gangrel.
Yeah, you'd assume right. So you look over. You see Marcus in the doorway.
Hello, sport.
He's a large, bald man with a thick mustache, a deep tan. Though it's winter, he's wearing sort of a pretty sleeveless, like a tank top type shirt. You could see where he has many old, like, sailor tattoos, and you could see some of the surgical scars. You know the ones he made. Something about him hasn't healed right for some reason. There's still some necrosis around it. You can see at the ends of his hands are these large, extended claws. But he does have tucked in one hand. Pretty bold of you. If you're safe here in your workshop of horrors. You didn't even bother hiding. You really think you're fucking untouchable, don't you?
I'd like to think so.
Come down. Get out of here. Say to the corgi as he sets it down and turns it, runs out. You know what's happy? finally be free of the nightmare you put me through, and I heard you were dead. I made my peace with it. And the rumors start flying around about you being back, and well, I had to see for myself. The peace I made with myself seems a lot less satisfying. Fucking getting my claws in you and popping you open. I'll be honest. And that fuck is still alive too, even.
Had a plan.
What was your plan?
It worked. Still alive.
So am I.
Never see it.
Are you?
I am.
Literally, and he points to the corner. Bricked me up there. Decades.
That was a different person, I can tell you.
He looks around. Sees the unconscious woman laying on the table.
She's not kindred.
That's worse.
Is it? Well, kind. Interesting. Perhaps I'm the same person. Well, Marcus?
Well, Henry? Why are you checking your sheet?
Why are you checking yours? What do you wish to do from here on out?
I got a lot of stuff to do, but I've set aside some time in my schedule for you, Doctor.
Yes? What do I fall in?
You'll see. But, perhaps we can have a little fun first. So he takes one step forward, crouches down a little bit, snarls, his mustache curling up.
What? Where's Winston?
On the ground.
Unconscious.
Not quite mortally wounded, but you gave him blood, so he'll survive. But his body's still barely held together. But you can see, you can hear him groaning. He's struggling to get up to face this guy. Doesn't seem like it's having
Lay
the
down,
easiest
Winston. This is no fight.
Sorry, no, I should have dealt with this. I won't lay you down again.
No.
Sure.
Yes. Like I said, I've changed. Taking quite a liking to you. I'm not just that cold doctor of boys. I thought.
So I was there to talk to her. That's why I can't see you go down like this. Marcus, well, that's enough. Anything left to say? Apologies, maybe, even.
I'm sorry. I only did one thing.
With this, he lunges for you.
I'm gonna activate Aura Decay.
Okay.
I think that helps hurt kindred.
Make a rouse check.
You make a roll.
If you kill Winston, is that enough corpses?
Hungry. Don't think that it passed my mind.
I don't think this affects anything living is possible. Okay. So you do not have to.
Where's the hunger? Do I have any medical equipment around me, like maybe something sharp?
Yeah, I mean, you're in your life.
Yep. Yeah.
What are you go for?
I'm gonna go for literally have nothing. I was doing the ceremony to get combat stuff. I guess I'm just gonna dodge.
Thanks, athletics.
3 successes. No, 2 successes.
How many?
2.
You will take 4 superficial damage. As he blinks, he's there in an instant. You reach, or you look around, you're about to grab the medical equipment, and you look over, and it seems like he almost teleported right to you, and his both claws just dig into your gut instantly. As he just starts to lift you, his fangs baring, and just smiling, and he starts lifting you off the ground. Wrist deep in your entrails. What would you like to do?
Fuck.
You can do that.
Am I near the body?
Yeah.
I can't do shambling hordes, but can I, whatever medical equipment I got, can I try to kill her and compel her spirit?
Sure. Give me a, he's gonna try to stop you on this, so give me...
Don't let me be rolled.
Okay. What are you doing?
Gonna try to do that. Dexterity? What is it?
It'll be strength roll. You're in melee with him now.
He shall fail.
That is 6 superficial.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I'm out.
You're out? Okay. Yeah, so you go and you lunge towards her, and he just pulls you back, and last thing you see is just a snarl and a flash of the claws. Okay. Alice. Yeah, you call, no answer. Cool.
I head to the house.
Okay. What are you two doing?
Oh, he's not answering. Whenever somebody doesn't answer, you should go looking for him. You might be in trouble.
Stop laughing.
Right. We had Alice with us. She could drop him. Otherwise, don't quite know what else to do.
Were we supposed to get back in contact with the Ruha after, or we were supposed to do something for the former Peter, right?
No?
Try to get off the back regardless.
Originally, but now that she's decided to join
Join
the
us.
Mithras, we'll just let her know.
When she was able to get back to her granddaughter or whatever she was supposed to. Well, I guess we've tied that end up. Is there anything else we've been waiting on doing besides looking for commands from our beloved queen?
Right, I've got a crazy Malkavian I can kill. Perhaps we should try to find Henry first.
The queen didn't help you wrap that up.
Right, so I could kill her. Don't know where she's at.
Congratulations.
Alright, fuck all.
Wait.
Knock that off. I ain't putting up with it.
Putting up with what?
You almost got us. Permanently stuck at the bottom of an ocean.
I
So you better shut up.
I almost got you what? I almost got you stuck at the bottom of the ocean.
Right? You and your little boyfriend got us kidnapped and sunk to the bottom of an ocean. If you're lucky I could even find Alice.
You know,
Perhaps you should think about your actions and how they hurt other people as well.
if I... Excuse my language. I want to say it straight face, stop laughing!
Oh, that's perfect.
God damn it. If I knew what the fuck you were talking about. I'll give you the proper tongue lashing you deserve. But I don't know what you're speaking about. So I suppose we'll carry on with whatever bullshit you've wrapped us up with the Queen, with the Malkavian friend, who, by the way, also knew where we were, sent us a cat that you just ignored. I had no control over you ending up in an ocean, or me ending up in a house full of people with a ton of soldiers who tried to kill us with gargoyles, and a ton of other kindred who are apparently fine with me being bloodbound to another kindred. Apparently that's okay, and me having no say in what a man does to me is fine. I think we both have some issues with being put in places we don't want to be. But we've gotten out of them, so let's move on and make this place better.
Right then, the one driving up fresh wounds. Let's just find Henry.
I call up Alice.
Yeah.
Right, we need to come to you. Henry's in trouble, I think. He's not answering.
Shit, somebody answer that phone, you gotta find him.
Right.
I'm gonna swallow these blood.
I couldn't get it out, I started laughing.
And got mad mess now, eh?
Right.
We'll meet up the fifth way up. Oh, where you going?
How far would I have gotten in the time that they've had this argument?
Too far, but you also weren't too far from where you need to go. If you want to come, they can
Yeah,
meet
they
you
can
there,
meet-
or you can.
Yeah, send you the address. You can meet me at the.
Fine, we'll be right behind you.
Oh, we have to wait for the taxi.
Look at it close.
She's in it, so I'll drop her off. And come back.
One taxi, bros.
You're dropped off at the abandoned manor, where, well, not nearly abandoned anymore. Lots of your followers, your cultists, sort of squatted and occupied now. As you walk in, everyone, looks at admiration. Come in and excited to see you back. You don't stay here apparently. You don't see them all that often, but they're happy when you do.
Mm-hmm.
And some of them are eager to show you some things they've learned, have some questions for you, whatnot. You can tell Katie's sort of running things here in your absence. She finds you when you arrive. I'll respectfully to you. Give me a tour.
Yeah.
Alright. So take you to one of the back rooms where she's saying. So, the rewards are spread like a wildfire. Really speaks to a lot of us in this position, But might have been growing too fast. Caught the wrong kind of attention. Found some people following me. I was able to lose them using them to talk. But I wanted to be sure. So I decided to hunt those that were hunting me. We'll have a little closet. Open it up. You'll see a young man, duct tape around his mouth and hands and wrists, and looks up at you, squinting a little bit.
You caught him following you.
What?
Sorry. You caught him following you.
You told us to learn your unique.
Shut up. Please stop.
Boy.
I got that one that time.
Thanks.
Just so you know.
I barely got it, but yeah.
I want to die. He was following you.
Yeah, this one. Cool.
This looks like a kid.
I mean, 20s.
Duct tape?
It's some mistake here, I assure you. I'm not sure what that woman thought she was going on about. I'm certainly not following you. Look, if you let me go, I haven't seen anything.
Insight that he wasn't following her.
Sure, what's insight?
I'll use a little on that. Everybody else is using it.
Yeah.
I didn't.
3 successes?
This is a cop. His eyes are darting around. It seemed like he'd been thinking of what to say once the tape was on. He just sort of jumped into it.
Yeah, you want to try that again?
What do you, sorry, alright. And just reconnaissance. Look, we know all about this, what you've got going on. But if you let me go, I can negotiate on your behalf. Maybe they won't kill you. This is your chance, to show them. I've done a lot of reconnaissance. A lot of you are awful. Not all of you are so bad, and this is your chance to show them you're not all monsters, And right now, this if you work with us, there's amnesty you can have. They'll cut you a deal. If you work with them, you'll be safe. And trust me, soon none of it's already not safe for you. It's about to get a lot worse. From what I hear, I can vouch for you. You'll be safe. You and your friends here, you'll be fine. It's a lot better off than what'll happen. And if you kill me, there's no amnesty, no anything. They won't show you any mercy. Show them you're not all bad, won't you?
Yeah, I'll show him something. And I, kind of grab him by where, his arms are tied together.
Mm-hmm.
You did good on this one, Pete. And I kind of pull him up out to where there's, where, we have, basically an audience.
Sure. Yeah. Okay, we'll see when we get the others.
Yeah.
Good. She'll go up, gather, and a bunch of her followers will start filling this room. Just looking around. It's not too late. Show them by example. Otherwise, they'll get you. It'll be bad for all.
You're gonna want to stop talking.
You don't want them to die too, do you? What are you doing?
I just kind of glare at him and wait for kind of the crowd to...
Yeah, they're all here. Trust me, making a mistake, you're doomed. You're dooming all of these. I promise you, any harm comes to me, harm will come to you. And that's not a threat. I don't want that, I don't want that.
Yeah, if you didn't want any harm to come to us, and let my voice carry, you shouldn't have been following any of my girls, any of my boys. What were you going to do with that information? You think you were going to plead amnesty if Katie hadn't seen you following her? No. You were going to come in here after us, weren't you?
Not if you weren't dangerous, and so far you haven't done anything too dangerous.
Yeah.
You should keep it that way, please.
Yeah, and I kind of look out at the group of, former homeless.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, how many of you been stopped by a cop who thought you might have been up to something dangerous?
All their hands raised.
Thought you might have been up to no good when you was just minding your business, down on your luck.
Yeah. Feel the crowd starting to get restless, a little riled up.
I say, fuck that.
It'll be bad. Trust me.
It'll be bad no matter what, and I put my hand on his neck, and I boil the blood.
Oh, shit. They ain't seen nothing like this before.
I was like, maybe she's gonna go. Oh wait, no, she's gonna boil his blood.
Any spots open for your cult?
Oh yeah, we're always.
If we catch this,
we're
I'm in.
always taking applications.
Mithras who?
This isn't a ritual set of power?
This is an actual discipline power.
Yeah.
So I need touch.
Cauldron of blood?
Yes, sorry. I'm very powerful.
She's a handmaid.
So it's gonna be a rouse check.
Yeah, and a sting.
Hey, welcome to the good life.
I'm not hungrier, but I do take a sting.
Yeah. What do you at?
Where is that?
Shh. Roll 7.
Really, D6?
Yep.
Sure. The lower your humanity, the more dice you can roll to keep it, so it's okay.
It's a good thing.
It's a good thing to lose it.
Mm-hmm.
So,
There's already cool.
he screams out in the most ungodly pain you've ever seen a person go through. As you see his veins pop out, as if his from a workout, but you can see them just constantly moving. The blood's literally boiling in his veins. You see his skin rippling and bubbling as it starts to burst, and he just starts to openly bleed, and just this steamy blood just starts to leak, and just instantly just this smoke starting to pour from him. As it starts bubbling out and just pouring, and as his heart's pushing it and pushing, he's just in these sort of just gooping out of him. As he just lets out this ungodly noise for what seems like a long time, although it kills him rather quickly. As his eyes have boiled in his head, his tongue's lolled out. You can just see his veins have burst all over his body, and the orifice is just completely poured out at this point, as there's just a soupy mess of a human that was there. And all the others just go quiet and look at you. And Katie's the first to cheer, and the rest sort of also get in it, as that was just fucking insane. And they're just so... Luckily, you stirred them up in the moment. It's something if they went from cold to that...
I wanted to trigger
yeah.
the mass hysteria.
But yeah, you got that mob mentality going.
Yeah.
You got them wanting blood. And they got it.
See what you know about the doctor. Just have him under first. Fucking hell.
That was metal.
For
what she
no,
did.
That was
like
brutal.
reason though,
That
like
was
that
metal.
that is like has a momentum.
Alright. We had our moment and we made our statement, but we gotta move. They're gonna be coming. Retribution. But I got something big coming too.
Right, we're with you. You know the drill. Pack up. Let's go. Alright, this movement. People start moving out. On the cab is taking you guys up. Taking you head in that way. What are you doing at this time? Just helping pack up? Are you doing anything in particular?
Yeah, be helping pack up. Talking to Katie.
Sure. Yeah, talking to Katie. What's the next plan? Where are we going from here?
Me?
One person steps up. I've got a spot we can go. It's a bit in the city, but sort of hide in plain sight type of thing.
Yeah. Is it, maybe we should stay away from the ritzy places for a bit.
Yeah,
Change the scene.
It's hard for them to be staking out if there's a lot of people about, you know. Yeah. And Katie looks, sounds good to me to go with you. That, unless you want to try to get further from the city and sort of hole up somewhere. Might be able to defend ourselves a little better, but it'll very much be more us versus them.
Let's stick close to the city for now.
City it is, alright? And the girl goes, sure, I'll make some calls, I'll get it ready. She does a call. You're getting things ready. Give me a wits awareness.
One success.
Okay. People are packing up. Luckily, these people are nomadic. They're used to moving. They're starting to get their things. And you see a bit of a commotion. Some people gathered around. We need help.
I go down.
And you go and you see a person sort of laying on the ground. He just dropped. He was carrying the box and he just fell. I think he's bleeding.
I know look to get closer.
Okay, yeah. You look and you can smell the blood before you see it. And sure enough, I mean, there's wearing layers this winter. But yeah, you can see this coat starting to get stained with blood. And the person next to you falls down.
But they got guns on the house, and I try to get.
And you look, and you can see from the hedges, from the fence, you could now see this little burst of light. And some people just start dropping. Yeah, Katie's just looking around, panic. What do we do?
We get down and we try to get out.
I'll hold them off if you want to go. Or you want me to go with you?
You come with me.
Right. And with that person right next to Katie running up to say something, you see him just spit, hit the ground. Yeah, and it seems there's a full-on assault in this place right now.
Okay. Try to get to at least a little bit of cover.
Sure. Give me
Is that a survival?
give me a Dex Athletics. Do you have celerity?
Yeah.
Okay. So you'll be the -2.
So just 2 die, or I guess minus 2.
-2 die.
That is 1 in a beast.
Let me take 4 superficial damage. As you're starting to head for cover and you just get rocked by something behind. A bullet rips through your shoulder, tossing you to the ground too. As Katie instantly, as soon as you hit the ground, Katie's pulling you back up and pushing on.
That's why you fool him.
Yeah, you find the girl earlier who had the spot. Follow me if you got a car.
Do I have a second to wits insight her?
Sure.
Now I can bury her.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. 3 successes.
I mean, it's you don't think you don't really recognize her. There's a moment of kind of a newer face. I don't know if you should be trusting you, but it doesn't seem to be anything explicitly.
Alright, then I'll go. So I don't have another plan.
Okay, yeah. So you'll go. You run off as people start dropping. People start spreading in all directions. There's a group heading with you. You cut through a yard, get to essentially an adjacent house. And she goes and she immediately hops in and begins hotwiring the car.
Nice.
While that happens, a couple more shots. You hear some just ricochet against the pavement of the driveway, barely missing you. Going to do anything. It's going to take her a moment, and some people seem to be moving in.
I want to get in the car and I want to break that mirror. Because I go out to do a ritual. The gun hit you, here it goes.
Okay, yeah. You smash the mirror and you get a shard of glass.
Bleed on it.
Okay.
So that's a rouse to do the ritual.
Mm-hmm.
I'm good. And then, the blood sources.
Mm-hmm.
Plus intelligence, correct?
Intelligence plus blood source. What level is the ritual? 3?
I think it's a 4. Let me double check. It's a 4.
Alright, so 5 successes. Five on the dot. So, you do your ritual in the car. Did you do your rouse?
I did, and I made
Okay.
it, and I'm okay.
And yeah, and you are in the car still, but you go ethereal. Just in time, as the bullet literally goes through you and through the window and the windshield. The person ducking and eventually gets the car going and gets in. Cage is in with you as well. There was one other person who seems to have just been shot.
I tell Katie the number to call for Henry and Catherine.
Okay.
And just to tell them agent's here. And I'll meet him somewhere else.
Yeah, at this point, Pearl gets the car going. She's going. They could trail us if they want. She'll say the address. And yeah, so you'll get a call. She don't recognize. I'm with Alice. Antigen's here. Don't come here. Go to this address instead.
Alright.
Well,
As this car cuts through some yards, going to just a street that you wouldn't even be able to get to otherwise, doing a lot of property damage, but getting away from Antigen, and breaking away and trying to get lost in the city.
well, we could follow them. or we could make good with Queen Anne on our way. Do you have anything to throw at him? You have that duffel bag with you?
No, still in the palace. What, then? Perhaps we should go make sure our house is alright. Get it up.
I guess so. Maybe we can set a shop later.
Okay.
We'll head to the address.
Get to the address. You're in the car. For the driver, they managed to seem to have gotten a good head start. And actually, you have premonition. I don't know. Me and give me a resolve all spells.
3, but if it fails, then it's a beast.
With 3. You're able to sort of help the way she was going. You're just like, no, don't go that way. I'm not sure why. You have a bad feeling about it. And you tell her to go a different way, which she does. The bad feeling subsides for a bit, and then starts to return as you get into the city. And something's not right. Staying here will be dangerous. It'll get you in trouble, but it might get you into a situation to help one of the heralds also in trouble.
There could be trouble here, but I could also help my friend out, so I'm staying.
Sure, driver. What trouble?
I don't know, I just have a feeling about it. Something's not right.
Alright, that's good. Let us know if you know any specifics.
Yeah.
Yeah, eventually you pull up in sort of this old, a little bit of a rundown neighborhood in the city. And she gets out and looks around. This way. And, her and Katie, head into a building.
What's your name?
Catherine.
A lot of people that have our names to them.
Do you follow?
Say our names?
Catherine.
Oh,
Catherine,
our
but-
names. I was like, our names?
No!
What the fuck are you talking about?
Like the letter, no.
Our.
Yeah, this is a place I have a bad feeling about.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I'm going.
Okay. Right. You rush in, head downstairs, open, and you see Henry.
Cool.
Yeah. Opened up, laid on a table. You see another woman laying on a table. You see this big mustache individual look over. Which one's this? And the girl goes, Alice. Tommy's on the way. Thank you. And then, okay. And then, with this, he looks at you. You're friends with Tommy, yeah? He'll come rescue you, won't he?
If that's your end game, then I peace out through the. Oh no.
You're still ethereal. You can if
Yeah,
you
I
want.
know. Yeah. So I would.
What are you doing?
You know what to do.
Bye!
What are you doing?
I'll stay with you.
Okay.
I won't. Yeah, I won't say
Talk at him.
anything about it. Yeah. Yeah, he probably will. What do you want with Tommy?
really want me. I just want a few words with Tommy, that's all, really.
Like,
That's all. Tommy took something from me. It's hard to find things you could take from Tommy, but I think we found it.
they have been flirting, yeah. You haven't picked up on it. I don't even know who you are, yeah.
Calico. Reaching. Well, this is neat, isn't it? Do you mind stopping this?
I did it. It's gonna be like this for a while.
But you can stop it, right?
I just sort of runs this course and now I'm back again.
Stop it now. I don't like it. I don't like it at all.
Mate, I'm sorry. I can't stop it. I did it in a panic because I was being shot at, and now I'm like this for like the next bit of time.
She looks at Katie. You. Go grab that saw. Katie just looks, nods, heads over to the table.
Okay, don't grab that saw.
Did you dominate?
I have a blood bond on her.
Do. She goes, she grabs it, she turns, she seems kind of confused. Stop this! Or else. You understand now? I've been talking to Katie for a while now. Gone ahead, I did, learned all sorts of interesting things. I do kind of like you and what you've done. You can make it out of this alright, probably. Tommy won't. My friend Mark is here. A friend in need's a friend in need. Mark has got something with the other one. I've got something with Tommy. The rest of you can bug off for all I care, as long as we get what we want. Not safe for us around here anyway. You can go off and get killed yourself. You almost did tonight. It wasn't for me, so you're welcome for that. You are welcome. I won't be around to save you all the time, especially now that I don't even have a clan of Camarilla to call my own. No anarch life for me now, I guess, and that's just fine. As long as I get what I want, that's just fine.
Yeah, you sent the car out then.
Eh?
You sent the car out then.
The car.
Catherine.
I didn't know anything about that.
What do you mean you saved me tonight then?
You were getting shot at, all of you. I got
Is
you out.
Catherine speaking right now?
Yeah.
Oh, sorry. I was thinking that I was. Alright, fine. And I drop the
Okay. It's better. It's better. She just kind of pokes at you. Much better. We'll get out of this just fine, she pats you. Just fine, if you want. A little Frankie. Oh, I've had to. It's alright. It's alright. That Tommy's bad news. It's bad news. I've got worse news for him. Let's wait here. You can see even Marcus is a bit uneasy with him, but
yeah, I kind of eye Marcus, having never met him before, just like, yikes.
sometimes you gotta keep questioning the company. Sure, you understand. It's
I like him.
Yeah.
For a little bit to arrive at the address.
Not me. Whole bunch of bullshit. And then
Yeah, I would start to stop in using instant passage.
Tommy disappears. What do you do?
I would tell her first.
Oh, well, let me check it out. We'll go dashing in, in case they followed her.
Okay. Yeah, whatever. I'll wait in the cabby then.
Right, keep an ear out.
Yeah.
Give me a composure intelligence, Alice.
Give me a wits intelligence?
Composure intelligence.
Composure intelligence. 2? Yeah, just 2.
2.
Yep.
This whole time, Alice has not shut up. She just keeps talking to you, talking about Tommy and the things he's done. And after a while, you kind of get it. Tommy is... You're not feeling too hot towards Tommy, too.
What about Tommy 1?
Yeah, but I think she's talking about the guy from the boat, right?
Yeah. Tommy
That's
too.
the problem?
And she gets in your head. And you really just start having this unreasonable anger towards him. Not only for the type of person he is, but also for getting you in the situation. You would be safe with your people, having just boiled a person's blood, showing your power. Use your power to make change, lead things. He's just a fucking grunt. It's just a sword, and it's a problem. And yeah, you just start getting unreasonably angry towards Tommy. She just talks and talks. You can hear her. That voice, the repetition she keeps using, echoing in your head. Tommy. Give me a, what's the obfuscate check? It's wits obfuscate.
Willpower.
You gotta take care of
2
this.
successes.
No willpower left.
2. Go in visibly, quietly. Get down there, and you enter the lab, looking around. You see Calico just talking incessantly to Alice, who seems to just be nodding in agreement, listening. You see some woman, not a kindred Utah, no sense of these, just sort of standing there blankly, just blinking a lot. She's just sort of confused. You see Henry opened up. You see another kind, unconscious woman right on the table. You see Marcus. They're looking. Marco's speaking to you. So now's the time to show him, really, isn't it, Tommy? She looks right where you are.
How far away am I? Where am I at?
You're in the doorway. Probably about 10 feet from that's Alice and then her. And then a little deeper in the room is Marcus and Katie the others.
Sure. When she points that out, can they see me?
They look towards where she points, but you're not sure. Doesn't seem like, just happened. She clearly does.
Yeah. Right then. I guess I would just charge at her.
Okay. You charge in, and that's where we'll call this episode.
That's a midnight decision right there.
We did 2 good last session. That's exactly like, gonna fuck this all up.
I still feel good.
The whole
Really?
reason.
That thing was cool.
We'll talk about it in a little bit with a quick after show. For now, fun stuff. I'm glad it worked out with our guests.
That was super fun.
Yeah, that was cool.
Please watch the after show so we can talk about how
great
exciting
she is.
that was. How
I miss
wonderful
her,
it
her
was.
sensibility.
Yeah.
Otherwise, you can check us out on stuff. We have socials. We have Patreon where you can watch this after show and other after shows.
As a member, it's really good.
Yeah, coming down to the wire here. Tying up some loose ends and then bringing Mithras back. We'll probably have our final episode next
Do we have anything to say about it?
Yeah.
Keep this going on.
Yep.
One or two. Maybe one.
Maybe
half
four.
of one. No, not four. Anyway, that's that. We're Table Goth, and this has been Fall of London.
And
Bye.